Hello and welcome, all you wonderful Tubi Dicers. It's me, Daddy Tarzan. Welcome. How are we doing, guys? Welcome to another episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. I'm your host, Daddy Tarzan, with Tubi Dice Adventures crew. Easy there, Si. Easy.
I bumped my arm on my chair.
Easy, buddy. So we have an injury with the party today, so bear with us as he.
I will attempt to stay muted through my groans.
Quick, back the tank.
But welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. I'm your host, Daddy Tarzan. With me is the wonderful cast and crew of Tubi Dice Adventures. Let's go ahead and get a cast roll off going at this time, starting with Ego, right to my right. And go on.
Hi, I'm Ren. They, them, my character is Ego, who is a scoundrel and a smuggler and a very nice guy who does nothing wrong ever.
Nothing wrong, huh?
Thank you, Ren.
Excuse me. What's that?
Rawl's never done anything wrong, right?
No, never ordered 86 or ordered 66 anybody, so I think we're good there. Yeah. But yeah, I'm Oz, and I play the fantabulous and ever illustrious Dark Edgelord Brawl. He just loves throwing bombs at people and hacking away. And right now, he's kind of a tough spot. And he's been looking for an edge in his competition of daily life and combat. And right now, he's on the ropes, force-wise.
All right.
Yeah.
And to you.
Hi, I'm Matt, also known as War Torn Knight, out there on the interwebs everywhere that doesn't suck. And this wonderful evening, I have the pleasure of playing Chev Visto, pilot, smuggler, and now Agent Lancer for the ISB. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. Chev has definitely done some things wrong in the past. It's totally okay, though. We got through it, and now we're here, and we're going to try to do better in the future. And
some of them we actually got away with.
All of them, to some degree, because we're expunged, homie.
Is my character the only one that's actually kind of moral on the group?
Whoa, surprise, surprise.
Oh,
Chad has some level of morality. He doesn't want to just kill people. He wants to kill the right people. Anyway, that's me.
All right.
Who has morality? Just takes himself first. Like, I don't get it. Self-preservation is top priority.
Let's get Star Wars Galaxy for you. All right, we're on to next, down to Dove, down at the bottom row. Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah, I have returned. For how long? Who knows? We never do. Hey guys, I'm Dia, also known as Dia.Cause on all social media. I play Dove, who was our resident bounty hunter, mercenary for hire, walking one-woman army with too many guns on her person, I would say, and potentially an armor drop suit, so mayhaps she can fly now. Thanks. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Spoilers!
Okay.
Can you say that again slower?
All right.
Diablo.cause. Please check out the Instagram in particular. We've had some new photos released from Wellington Cosplay Photo Fest. If you are a Delicious in Dungeon fan in particular, you will enjoy that.
The Instagram is divine. Do please check her Instagram out. You won't be disappointed. All right, and on to the final one on our list.
Oh God! Hello, I am Dr.
Bess Rutam, currently the only moral person on the board.
Yeah.
A pacifist actually won't kill. And
Straight facts.
he's just a good old boy who resents his father. Don't we all?
Never meaning no harm.
We may be joined later on tonight by Victor, the Story Weaver, who plays Guy, as well as Oho, the brother of Rawl. He's currently caught up in some recording sessions, so fingers crossed that he can join us. But other than that, our resident that plays Dar Kellen will be taking a temporary leave from the campaign as work has collided with the time schedule. That being said, that is our introductions for today's episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. Let's do a quick recap, because we had a lot going on in just a span of 2 hours last session. The party had exhibited some characteristics of altruism upon delivering the child Notzik back to his mother Tara after being rescued from indentured servitude by the Pike Syndicate that is operating under the nose of the Hutt Cartel on the home planet Nar Shaddaa. Returning the child to his mother, Ego and Guy exhibited even more altruistic behaviors by one granting them $4,000 credit stipend to take care of themselves, as well as survival gear to help relocate them. Was that?
Best contributed to that amount.
Oh yeah, yes. Best contributed the funds. Ego and Guy contributed supplies, and then Guy arranged with his line of contacts transport for Notzik and Tara to be transported off planet to avoid any possible future entanglements with gang wars or abductions. That being said, after securing their passage off planet, the rest of the crew went to deliver the Helm of Mandalore the Indomitable back to their contact, Odil Atin, a Mandalorian architect who specializes in preservation of Mandalorian artifacts and structure. He reached out to the crew of Core Atlas originally to help him locate this artifact, but was injured in the process of departure and had to remain on the wheel for treatment. The crew of Core Atlas made it to after all of that, managed to learn about the the blades of Mandalore, and briefed Odil on this. But Odil was pretty heavily inebriated at this time, so Guy thought it would be best to secure his transportation back to his house so he doesn't get mugged with a precious artifact in his possession while inebriated. The rest of the crew went back to Slade's workshop to acquire some illicit goods and supplies, acquiring some level of cybernetics, clothing, and weaponry. And that's about as far as this journey went, and that took over the span of 2 hours, possibly a little bit more. Where the rest of this journey is going to go is to be diced at this point. We'll see you in a second. Our scene returns us to the exterior of Slade's workshop after the crew of Core Atlas and some newcomers have completed their excursion in Slade's workshop, acquiring various assortment of gear. Eager Guy trying to replicate the augmentations that Chev has to further himself not knowing that Slade doesn't have that technology available to him. Therefore, will not be able to get the same augmentations as him, but he'll get some benefit. The rest of the crew required some clothing, cloaking technology, so on and so forth, slicing gear, and a droid with strings attached. What those strings are, Slade has yet to convey. He handed Rawl a code cylinder to establish communications between one another, as he will notify you when he is ready for the strings to be cut or stretched, whatever have you.
Reeled in.
Reeled in. There we go.
All of it.
Ready to reel in that string. There we go. Meanwhile, the scene, the crew, the original crew of Corellis has been busy. Chav is being inducted into the ISB by Watcher 7 after successfully testing out a stealth fighter developed by the Empire. Dove, fulfilling her contract with Caltho the Hutt as a protection agent. Meanwhile, thwarting Rawl's attempt to overthrow Caltho's rule.
I was gonna shoot him in the head. Stop me.
Just stopping Rawl from doing something dastardly. But Dove has been busy behind the scenes, not just protecting the overgrown slug, but doing some investigative work of her own.
If you're doing investigative work, Dove, which you have been looking at video feeds of the area?
Of the area. Of a certain room, of which the feeds have been surveyed, recorded, gone through.
Not that area, but a hallway. You might have seen Rawl take out a bunch of Pike Syndicate people in a very malicious way.
Oh, he's talking about on the planet. No, she's got her own story to tell. You guys have been busy down in the Undercity. There's not a lot of footage down there because it's a very underdeveloped section of the planet. We'll get to that. But our scene's going to start off with Dove, as she's currently making her rounds throughout throughout Club Vertica after, let's rewind the clock back a couple hours to right after you just finished watching what you saw. What is your first course of action?
That I am taking a copy for myself and ensuring, yes, I did do that. Finish copying the footage successfully.
Yes, you did. That's right. And we also did a fear check, which you failed.
Did we?
It was a daunting fear check. Granted, it's nothing that's going to be debilitating. What happens in this moment is your heart is racing after seeing this footage. You saw, the being that you witnessed just instilled a level of dread and fear, as this is something that's not commonly seen, and the carnage was insane. So yeah, your heart's racing a little bit. You're perspiring on the forehead just ever so slightly, but it takes you a minute to recollect yourself after the finalizing the copy of the footage, and you're collected back to yourself at this time. Go ahead.
I think what's going on through Dove's mind during that time is she's a warrior in her own right. She knows a battlefield very well, and she recognizes there's a distinct line of brutality when you take it from using ranged weaponry and guns, which feels impersonal half the time, to wielding a blade and alone wrecking that level of carnage. I think that's what's playing on her mind at the moment.
Yeah. It's at this time, as you exit the security room, one of the security officers, a Nikto individual, male, about 6'4", crosses your path as he's making his way to the office. Dove, what are you doing here?
My rounds. Like, I hope you'd be doing the same.
All right, well, Caltho's expecting you back in the chamber.
Can't leave him on for 5 minutes to do a walk around. I'm on my way.
All right. The two of you part ways. You make your way back to the council chamber, where you see Caltho accompanied by his security entourage, as usual. Actually, this is not usual, because he's more heavily guarded than most huts are, as you're aware of. But he seems excitable in this moment as you approach. And he slaps himself on the chest as you enter the room.
Dove, you've acquired that acquisition that you were hoping for? Battle armor?
Ah, I was wondering what the good news was. You're smiling. For the first time in 2 weeks. It's weird. But God, it's good.
The armor wasn't easy to acquire, but you'll be the envy of the planet. This drop suit. It'll make a fine addition to my security.
Mm-hmm. Dove is doing her best to remain composed, but Katha would be able to tell in this time she is very excited to be able to inspect the suit herself, like personally hands-on, because half the time you only hear about these things and she doesn't actually get to look at it up close.
Yes. Yes. So as he gestures to it, this battle armor is beautiful. Its craftsmanship is flawless. It's got a generic coating. There's no Dove touch to it yet, but it's a plasteel gray armor suit with hydraulics incorporated into it. You see, as you round the exterior of this suit, you see the thrusters that are attached at the shoulder blades that allow you flight capabilities. The helmet obviously won't fit your Zabrakian cranial structure, so you'll have to either make alterations or just throw it out completely, as you usually like to keep your face presentable. But aside from that, this suit will make an excellent addition to your armament. It provides excellent protection, maneuverability, something that is highly coveted amongst the guild. And it's all yours.
I will put this to good and thorough use.
The hut begins to slither towards you as you inspect the suit closely, and his entourage kind of disperses out, allowing you guys to be a little more personable with one another. And Caltho leans down closer to your shoulder as you inspect.
So, what do you make of my acquisition?
I am impressed. Even in my
Wasn't-
travel.
Wasn't cheap, but I think you'll make great use of this.
It will be worth it. What is a life worth, really? And if more than one can be covered by this, well, I think it would be a good investment.
There's a intricate donning process. It won't be easy getting in and out of this thing, but I have a team on standby ready to assist you to get on.
Dove's mind automatically goes to that. Also means it'll be less easy to steal. So, you know how
Mine's
people
that.
are, sticky fingers. Poking their noses where they shouldn't. Oh, that's not so surprising.
No, it's not. Not on this planet, at least. So, I've been getting word of some activity on the planet. Your... I don't recall. Did you tell me whether or not you were friends with that fellow that we acquired his funds last?
You might want to say that again, Tarzan. Sorry, the voice modulator
He asked if
distorted
you
it quite a bit.
told him whether you were friends with Rawl. I don't think you
He
did.
knows that I know Raul because she was able to mitigate that.
That's right.
But
That's right.
It's not so surprising for mercenary sorts to be aware of each other's work, but courtesy and etiquette is that you don't get in the way.
Right. Sorry, I meant to turn the modulator off for that one.
Good.
So yeah, you didn't tell him that you're good acquaintances, but you know of him. All right. The hut, seemingly pleased with your approval of the suit, begins to make his way off back towards his chambers. As he does, a team of Twi'leks makes their way out onto the floor and begins to prep the suit for donning. Whenever you're ready. You can maneuver freely on the planet of Nar Shaddaa with this suit. Anywhere else in the galaxy, it is a restricted weapon contraband. It will gather attention of law enforcement or the Empire. Granted, you have the credentials that allows you to operate that technology freely, but you will be stopped because they have to investigate.
That's fine. She'll find a nice coat or cloak or something to throw over it if needed. She will accept the Twi'lek's assistance in donning it, taking very close attention to the way it's fastened, just for her own knowledge. You know, she's very interested in how this works, because again, she can touch it now.
Right.
She will hold on to the helmet with the idea that she'll make her own modifications to it, perhaps modify it so that it's more of a visor and less of a helmet that actually protects the back of the cranium. So that is her thing.
Make it a faceplate visor. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, because she'll be flying and wind buffering. Yeah.
That's good. All right, cool.
She's got natural
Just a
armor as
girl
it
in her
is.
jetpack.
Yeah.
We got a bounty hunter with a jetpack now, guys. Woo-wee! The process is takes over the course of 20 to 30 minutes. There's some hydraulic or coupling assistance as you step in. The greaves kind of open up with a gear whirring. Let's see if I got something that will help give you an idea of what it sounds like when it operates. Actually, it sounds like this. As the suit opens up from the back, your greaves open, and you step in, and it closes in around your legs. The cuirass, the back panels open out outward, allowing you to slide your arms in first, and then it contorts around your frame, fitting to your automatically adjusting to your dimensions. You can hear the plates whirring and shifting as they conform to your form, and it fits like a goddamn glove. It feels comfortable as the Twi'leks secure each position with lock and an Allen key locking mechanism to keep it from being knocked off easily or whatnot. It keeps you secure in the suit at all times. You take notice that these locking mechanisms are at the hip, just behind the shoulder, on both sides, and on both sides of the exterior thigh. So 6 locking joints at total, and you leave the helmet off for the time being, as it doesn't currently fit your form, but with your mechanical skills, you can make easy work of that. And Dove is now donned in the drop suit armor. What is your first? What's your first task?
So this building, is it entirely enclosed, or is it at certain points open to the air?
There would be a balcony or a courtyard that has an open air access within the hut council chambers. So you'd step out that way, overseeing the city below, air rushing through your hair and horns, and the overwhelming sense or urge to fly.
She is taking this thing for a joyride.
Okay.
She needs to know whether she needs to make any modifications to just the way it operates and just get used to it. And also because I did my research, I know we take no fall damage when wearing this thing.
Exactly. All right. Okay. So there is a piloting check required to use this thing. Is the powered armor? Nope. Which one is it? It's the armored drop suit. As a maneuver, the wearer wears of the armored drop suit can engage their flight system. It's a flight speed of 2, handling of +2, system strain threshold of 3. Requires a piloting planetary check to operate. As a first-time use, with no prior experience with this suit until now, I'm going to make this first piloting check a hard difficulty.
Sure.
We'll give you 1 setback because this is a familiarity test. Granted, the only threats that you'll have to worry about is possibly running into oncoming traffic or whatnot, but that's only if you roll a despair.
That's an expected risk.
Right. Go ahead.
No, just mechanically, someone remember, I've got the Edge of Empire Core Atlas thing up. Someone remind me how I roll.
So you're going to scroll down to your general skills and find the piloting planetary. Click on those dice.
Thank you, got it. And it was a hard check. Will I be adding that, or will you be adding that?
I'll be rolling it on my side. You just roll the ability.
Cool.
And I need to refresh.
3 successes, 2 advantages, and a triumph.
God damn. Okay.
Right. This is Chad's osmosis influence. She's been around this guy long enough to pick up some tricks.
Tarzan.
Yes, go pilot.
You have to
do
roll
the
a perfect
things.
roll to beat her.
She pilots her own ship as well, albeit not to the same ridiculous extent. But she can fly.
Well, nobody pilots like Chav, and Victor's here, so nobody's going to contest that.
What do you got, Ego?
It's not ego. It's Ren. Are we rolling our?
Our foresight at this time. This probably would be a good time to do that. All right, let's get everybody added in. 1 second. There we go.
Left side.
All right, everybody's added in. Good. Let's roll those force die for the day, guys. Well done on that piloting check, and starting off with a triumph in your pocket already. That's crazy.
2 down the side.
Ooh, I like that.
It balances out. I think it's Dove's own sense of reckless abandon and this joy that she doesn't get from very many things, but it's this rush of freedom and just having a sense of control that she will literally just step over the edge of a balcony and
We have 4
see what
lights
happens.
already.
Let's see. Let's remove one. There we go.
No,
All right.
There's 3 dark side, and there's 4 light side.
All right, leave it alone. I got it. Quit touching my luck tokens. All right. And for light side, damn, you guys are rolling good today.
Hey, I got another dark side. I'm back on my bullshit.
It's 4 and 4. Hell yeah.
I love it. A perfect balance. You guys.
Easy.
As all things should be.
But we are forgetting one crucial moment. Dice roll from Dar.
What?
Okay. All right.
Hey, look at that.
Of course.
All right. Thank you, Dar, for tipping the scales in my favor.
Well, then if you're gonna roll for Dar, then roll for Guy.
That's true. I'll give that to you guys. You guys, one of you can roll. Since Ego brought it up, Ego, you roll for Guy.
Very well.
No, Raul could roll. It's your brother, kinda.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what we got, I guess. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Even split.
All right. Why not? Perfect balance, as all things should be. Okay. We got a decent pool of dice or luck tokens today.
We do.
So, to pull us back into the scene, Dove, you go through the pre-flight checks, systems check. You have to hold the visor up at an awkward angle to view the HUD display to see that all the confirmations of the flight systems are properly engaged. And your first and foremost thought, yeah, I need to alter this so I can actually see what my systems is telling me. But you watch as the heads-up display tells you all systems are green, thrusters and panels are a go, and you listen for that power up as the thrusters begin to hum with power, and you ignite the engines and take off. Strangely, you take to it instantly. And you're living up to your nickname, your namesake at this point. You glide through the air like a dove on the wind, and it feels like home.
I think there's a sense of novelty in this feeling for Darp, who is usually well armed and used to feeling the weight of armor and weapons sort of pulling her shoulders down, and having that sense of comfort and knowing that she is not vulnerable. This is a new sense of that feeling of invulnerability, but in a completely different way. That sense of being able to move in any which way, up, down, sideways, and still having access to her gear, and that is incredibly fun for her at this time.
I like it. This will present some level of challenges as you have to now adopt a new style of carrying your gear, but you can't help but find a level of comfort knowing that this provides a new layer of protection for you. With that, we end this scene as Dove careens through the air, weaving through traffic, horns blaring as she presents herself as a terrifying obstacle momentarily for the air vehicles passing through their lanes, and we transition our scene back down to the surface of Nar Shaddaa, where the crew... No, actually, we're in the Undercity still, as we are just leaving Slade's workshop with our bounty in hand. Rawl with the code cylinder firmly in his grasp as he waits for that string to be drawn. Ego, Dr. Bess, Chav, Guy, with their bounties or shopping
I thought we
lists
were on the
fulfilled.
ship on the way to Navarro already. I rolled astrogation and everything.
We might have already... Yeah, we might have pushed past that. I'm...
You did say we were going back in time.
Astrogation
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did
Also,
you?
I'm on
Okay.
a date.
I missed that.
That's right. So technically, yes, we're already off planet. So this is... We're doing a little wind back in time to do some catching up for both Dove and the party.
I can't do it as effectively without both hands, but
All right. But yes, in the near future, the party does take off to make their way to Navarro. But in this moment, with your bounties and your strings that are attached, how's Core Atlas feeling at this time? Actually, you guys aren't even Core Atlas. You guys don't have a solidified identity. Not currently.
Roll, you're muted somehow. There you go.
There we go. Roll and Chad are the last of Core Atlas currently. So, yeah, we really aren't Core Atlas anymore. I mean, I don't know what we would call ourselves or anything, but Dove would know of Core Atlas if we ever meet up with her.
You have her on comms.
Ego, yeah, I do. Ego, I believe, would also know of Core Atlas, but Bess wouldn't.
Right. What's your guys' headspace? Chav, you have a lot on your mind as you're coming to terms with the idea that at one point or one chapter of your life, you wanted to be part of the Empire. You wanted to be a pilot. But that chapter seemed to have came to a close at that one distinctive moment. But now, in this present moment, you're part of the Empire, but you've been working for yourself for years. And now all of a sudden, you're inducted into the ISB, you're Agent Lancer now, and you're not only now just answering to Killbolt, but this Watcher 7. A lot to take in just a short amount of time. Rawl, you've been dealing with a lot of negative and dark emotions. Not causing you, but motivating these fits of rage and causing you to strike out, injuring one of your own crew. Albeit a minor injury, but you are the cause of that injury. Putting you at odds in staring down the blaster barrel of your own team. As you're standing at odds of one another. Ego. This was just supposed to be a job. Now you're entangled in this rescue mission, putting yourself in harm's way to save a child from being maimed by somebody that you barely know. Bess, you took this opportunity to get away from Isotech as you were unceremoniously fired upon the arrival of this Dr. Katala, a child in your perspective. You've been in this field for years, and this woman shows up, removed from society for 20 years, and all of a sudden is replacing you in the highest position within Isotech. And you were left with nothing but a severance package and a droid. What's keeping this party together?
Credits.
Right now, Bess is just trying to get a handle on the pulse of this group. Right now, he's like, clearly they're not very decent people, but you'd have to throw a lot of stones to hit somebody in the galaxy that's actually fully decent.
Yeah.
But he's like, they are useful. They're very strong and capable warriors. And that thought of, I could help them make a lot of credits and they could help me make a lot of credits in return if I take them and use my contacts.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of thinking about that right now. Like, get them to Navarro, get them decent work, working for a lot of credits, but a lot of good as well, and see how they feel about it.
Okay. Ego, you're piloting your own ship at this time, correct? Or you would have been taking your own ship on this trip, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you have your space to yourself,
Jessa.
With Jessa?
The bartender. And
that's right. You did depart for a little bit to go.
Yeah. I had a date. I kept saying I have a date.
Yeah.
Ego always has a date.
Yeah. Oh, Ego always has a date. Ego, we pick up from that mental image of Bess coming to terms with the group that he surrounds himself with, to the exterior of your ship as Jessa departs the gangplank of your ship. You just modestly dressed, a t-shirt and pants, as she seemed a little more tussled up a little bit, and gives you this sly slash flirtatious smile and wave as she makes her way down the docks back towards the city. You with a sense of accomplishment. Does Ego hold on to the chain code to keep in contact with her, or does he discard that chain code?
No, it goes into a file with the other chain codes.
All right.
You mean I'm gonna get rid of it?
Whole box full of them.
Ranked box of chain codes.
Yeah, a triumphant conqueror, now alone in his domain, having the day that he has just gone through slowly come into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You've put yourself at risk, and for what? Yeah, there was no promise of a great amount of pay. It was just a basic pay of 5,000 credits, which was procured by you. That's right. You did take the payment. But you gave that to? Did you give that to the crew?
No, I gave 2K of it to Tara.
That's right.
And
you kept 3.
K.
Yeah.
I didn't give any. Fuck
yeah.
no.
you kept the 3. But yeah. That accompanied with the risk that you took, putting yourself in harm's way with Rawl. What's keeping you in this entanglement with this crew? Is it an intrigue? Is it Slade's inquiry? Is it just the thrill? What's got Ego still invested in this?
I think as Ego just sits down in the cockpit, just like a cigarette, just like loosely in his hands, and like swaying back and forth in the console chair. Ego has done cruise before. Ego has done like planet to planet. Ego has done betrayal, grievous bodily harm betrayal to him. And he's not terribly invested in having that happen again, thinking of the situation with Rawl. And that clock to the head that could have been so much worse. But he trusts Dove, and Dove seemed to like these people for some reason. And he likes Slade, and Slade has an interest in things about these people. And so it's safer being by himself and doing his own thing. It's what's gotten him through a great portion of his life. But I think for now, he's going to let the tide take him. And right now, it's pushing in the direction of them. And as soon as the tide changes or the winds shift, he'll be gone.
Very well. Our scene's going to transition from Ego in contemplation in his own ship to the crew of Core Atlas outside the VCX 100. As Dr. Besrutam makes his way up into the ship and to the medical bay, Chav and Rawl remain outside for a moment. Chav seemingly wanting to discuss something with Rawl before going further.
Double checking, it is Chav and Rawl and then Dr. Bess.
Dr. Bess went inside the ship to his medical bay to attend to his office.
And where did Guy go?
Guy is currently off securing his own, securing transport for Tara and her son.
Okay. So these two, the last standing members of Core Atlas, when there's a moment, Chav's just going to kind of check in with Rawl, just kind of like as they're getting the ship ready to go, or do the next part of the journey. he's gonna turn to Rawl and just kind of it's been a minute. What have y'all been up to? It's just the two of us at this point, just man to man, level with me. What's going on in that big old head of yours?
With Raw's mindset and everything going on, he kind of you look at him, he kind of doesn't want to be here talking. He doesn't want to be here having this conversation right now. And
Too bad.
he just wants to go inside the ship, string up his hammock, and either rack out or stare at the ceiling. One of the two. And he looks at you for a moment. There's been a lot going on. I'm not sure I'm strong enough for it. There have been too many times where we have been caught unawares, or I have been caught unawares, alone, and unable to overcome the odds. I don't like living like that anymore. He looks down at your arm. How's that thing?
Kind of looks it over. Best accident that ever happened to me.
I noticed before you seem to move different, faster.
It's got its perks. That's for dang sure. Had to take a little bit of getting used to. It actually, this hand is probably the only thing in the galaxy that works faster than my own mind. And just kind of like does the, playing around, doing the finger dexterity tricks. Pulls out a credit, flips it between his fingers back and forth. Just like as he's talking idly, things that he does to kind of, make sure that it is working properly, make sure that he is basically training himself, attuning himself to it better. I'll be honest with you. The only downside about it is the new leash that I'm on.
But Dr. Cortola made that for you, right?
Oh, well, yeah. Absolutely did, but didn't stop me from waking up on a Star Destroyer.
I knew she was needed. I didn't know how badly.
Well, in his own way, Agent Killbolt is doing the best he can for little old Core Atlas. Obviously, I don't have the Chimera currently, but he's got a little something else cooped up, something that basically I'm the only person in the galaxy who can handle. And basically he's doing me a favor so that I also do him a favor.
How'd you get here?
Oh, that same thing, except the downside about it is a ship. Gonna say that much. But it's got a tighter leash than I do, so I'm not allowed to go joyriding in it, for lack of a better term. So that being said, I'm gonna level with you. The favor that he's doing for me and the favor that I'm also doing for him in turn. Nothwin, the planet, has a shit. Why can't I think of the word?
It's a siege.
It's under siege now. I thought that it was
It had
just
progressed from a blockade to a siege.
blockade.
Yeah.
That's the word that I was looking for. Nothwin's under siege
The
by
entire
the
planet.
Empire.
That's new.
Well, I imagine that they ain't playing it in all the bars and everything like that here on Nar Shaddaa. At least not until they win. But they ain't gonna give up without a fight. Not Her Majesty.
Of course not.
Yeah, the as far as public knowledge is aware, it's only being blockaded by Admiral Tayson. But this was a slip. I wasn't supposed to tell you that I was under siege. You were supposed to find out from a news clipping. But
Blockade.
that would Killbolt would have told you. He's not going to keep that information away from you because he would have found out eventually. So yeah, he would have told you that the blockade had progressed from a blockade to a siege. And Admiral Tayson is sending reports that there's active rebellion forces on the surface. And Killbolt has confirmed that there is not.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a sense that this is probably Tayson trying to
shit.
Yeah.
Jeb's going to look Rawl dead in the eyes. I mean to stop that siege. I ain't the biggest patriot or anything, but Northwood's still home. And I don't like when people fuck with my shit.
Raw looks back, the same grave expression. So whose ship we gonna take?
At the moment, the only one that I can get on is yours. Because I sure as shit ain't getting on guys. All right? There's one thing in this galaxy that I will not do, and that is let that man drive me around, okay?
I don't know. You might get along.
You know what? He can get right along with this here, and like kind of flicks his fingers and ends in a bird.
I love it.
So
at this time, you guys go ahead and give me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Perception.
Uh-oh.
What's your inception?
Perception. That's this one here.
There,
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I'm not actively tracking anybody, and bonus.
Ooh, tree successes for Chev Visto.
You motherfuckers. You weren't supposed to succeed.
Yeah, who's eavesdropping? Who's
it's not
right now.
It's not who's eavesdropping. It's you take a notice to the lack of presence from the group. You only notice Dr. Bess get on the ship.
Mhm.
You haven't seen Dar.
Hey, don't you got another one with you?
Yeah, you know how much you love your pilots, and our current one is supposed to be here. Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't even seen him since the Undercity. Weird. Okay, well,
When is the
maybe.
last time anybody saw him, Tarzan?
You guys all saw him at Slade's workshop.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys were making your way back to the landing pad at this time, but Slade or Nadar seemed to have trailed off in between there.
So while
wanna
I was
hail
doing
him?
that fancy droid parts, he slipped away. Yeah, Rawl will look down at his wrist-mounted datapad, start typing away, pulling up Dar's call code. Is it still there? Did he stealthily delete it?
I mean, he doesn't have the means to delete your contact information. So yeah, you reach out to you call out to him, and the comlink rings. It rings. It rings. There is no reception on the other side.
There's no voicemail.
No.
Hey, everybody, it's Dark Yellow. No, I'm kidding.
End transmission. Right. I don't know. I don't have a tracking beacon for him. I have no way to get in contact with him other than this.
You do have a message, however. It is from Dar.
Open the message.
Sorry I had to split. Inquiring eyes started looking into me.
Inquiring eyes.
Inquiring eyes, they're watching you.
Raw would relay this message to Chap. And I don't understand. We all, in some facet, specialize in getting away from inquiring eyes.
Dar wasn't part of that protection. He was hidden in a
right, but we could have figured
dinner.
it out. We could have done something to figure it out. And yet he left. So, I'm not sure.
To kind of pivot back to something that he had said earlier, when Rawl kind of says that, like, you know, like we're all kind of specialized in this kind of stuff, we could have helped him stuff, and you know, I'm not sure why he would have done this on his own. Chad's just gonna kind of like be giving you a little head tilt look and slide down and go, huh, funny how that works, huh?
You know, I don't think I like what they did to you. They must have messed with your circuitry internally.
That's always been fucked up. Same as you. That's why we get along.
I suppose. Right.
But, you know, I ain't gonna sit back and let you get rid of the irony that is you talking about not being strong enough for something, and then immediately start talking about somebody else saying, hey, you got friends, we can do things together, we can handle this. That's a big word there. I know it's 2 letters, but that's a big word.
Capitalized.
Yeah.
All right. You guys make your way onto the ship at this point?
Yeah.
All right. The VCX 100 series freighter makes its departure into space and departs for Navarro. It is at this point, Dove, you are at the end of your predetermined contract with Caltho. You know he's going to re-up his contract with you, giving you another 75,000 credits, I believe it was established, for another 3 months of protection. Oh yeah, a month. Yeah. And even it's a good paying. It's a great paying job.
You really have been giving out credits. Crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Eh?
Caltho is a very important individual, and he wants very capable people protecting him.
I wonder why.
a month.
Yeah. Granted, Dove has only been working for him since Bespin. And that's been about 2 months, going on 3.
A month.
So this sounds like you have 60K for Chav just ready to go, right?
Sounds like it.
What? What? 60K? Yes. For Chav?
Mm, mm.
I'm
Um,
so poor. This is ridiculous.
Ego, we just
underpoor.
have yet to discuss what your financial income is. That's the only reason why you're broke.
There, I
Oh,
have my two child thieves. I forgot about that.
Speaking of income, another thing just to remember, we can do it after stream, is how much money Chav got from loaning out his shipping container.
Oh yeah, we got to figure that out.
But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, that's yeah, we got to do that behind the scenes. But yes, Dove. Actually, I would say probably today is the last day of your pre-established contract. 3 months, 75,000 a month, and is renewable at the end of the third month. Granted, you can choose whether or not to honor that renewal. What's your current mindset now that you got a new present in your pocket, in your arsenal?
Would Dove at any point have been contacted by anyone else and just given a heads up? Saying, okay, we're going off planet. Or anything
Chav,
else?
I would
Chav
say
specifically would, because Chav, having heard that Dove was on planet,
oh, that's right. You were told.
is intrigued at the possibilities of if he can get Dove and the Nothoan Lancer in the same room.
Ooh, you testing boundaries, are you? Ooh.
Yes.
Going on? Who the fuck is that?
All right.
Is that?
So
Also,
before you leave atmosphere, Chav would have called Dove then before he made the jump to light speed, because that communications is tough during hyperspeed.
also, Raw would have sent him a data message to Dove requesting to see if she could give assistance in deleting footage of him at the casino. Whether or not he gets a response
After that exchange, left on red.
probably. But
You get a response back saying, oh, now you're asking for help. Oh, interesting.
Raw doesn't respond. But just the request is out there. That's all.
We're all red at 7:72 p.m.
Dove Ego has been texting you for the last 3 days.
This is
Oh,
true.
absolutely. Ego's getting regular replies. Like,
Yeah,
how was your day?
Sharing memes.
Did you split the bill? Oh, that's a thing. We can put that out there. Ego and Dove always split their own bills when they're out. So that's why I think Ego doesn't realize how much money she gets in. But
Yeah.
that is also affected by how much she keeps, because she does have
She has obligations, yeah.
obligation.
It's
Yes. They're regularly in touch. This is not.
Expensive tuition to keep up with.
It is apparently being paid for, so.
You're right. Well, it wasn't
by me.
originally.
Yes, that. Yeah, to which Dove will tell Catho that as much as she enjoys their employment and their contract, there are some things, some loose ends she would like to tie up. And she believes it would be in his best interest as well to ensure she may not be distracted by other circumstances.
Can't help but feel slighted. I guess get you this power armor and you take off on me immediately.
Business is business, Calfo. I'm happy to come back at soonest opportunity, but I don't think this is the time to have distractions.
I'm going to be distraught to see you go. But if you have any recommendations or references that we can utilize in your absence, I would not turn them away.
Dove will be happy to leave a sort of set of instructions for his new guard, as well as a personal list of recommendations from other bounty hunters of Nashida that she knows are competent. She just asked Kalfa, don't say that I recommended them. It's going to go straight to their ego, but if I had to say, it would be, and then she'll name a few.
Okay.
And also where it can be located. And what she knows is their usual rate, just from their own, like, cantina discussions, so on and so forth.
Yeah, Dove definitely knows a guy or two to offer up as a substitute in her absence.
Alas, there is only one Dove. She has not been cloned yet.
But you complete this contract and choose to not renew it for the time being as a means to take care of other business that currently occupies the forefront of your mind. It's at this time that you, aside from the occasional message from Rawl asking you to, begging you to delete footage of him within Kalthos Palace or the Hut Council Palace, you receive a call from Chet. A call or a message from Chav?
Definitely would be message. Would say, I'm going to put it out there that, like, the annoying text language that, like, you get from some people where, like, things are shortened unnecessarily and it's very annoying. That's Chav texting. It says verbatim, in case you're interested, we're all headed to Navarro. If I can, I have, how would he put this? I have a little project that I think is right up your alley.
Verbatim. Does it pay?
Dead.
How's 60,000 credits sound to you?
For you or for me?
I don't want to word this because I don't want it to come back and bite me in the ass.
Mm.
Probably actual quote of what Chav is going to say. The 60,000 credits belong to you.
If
Red.
successful.
Just red.
Red. Red for several hours and then say coordinates.
When we get him, he would send.
You're muted.
You had her at intrigue and then she was just pulling your leg. That was like,
Muted. Sir.
I'm just seeing the private chat of what you're plotting, and you're playing with dangerous waters. I'm so excited.
Told you this. 100% I told you this. You are aware.
I'm so excited.
It might not work, and that's okay.
Can't wait to see how that plays out. But yeah, we got a promise of pay in some form directed to you, Dove. Is that enough to draw her from her current roost to a new one?
yeah, she was already intrigued at project. She was like, I want project. These are usually fun. But then, again, just wanted to pull Trav's leg a little bit. In regards to Rao's request, is that something that can be done remotely, or would it need to be executed while she's still under?
I mean, that would have been. So you would have gotten that message while you were still under the employ of Caltho, the night prior. I think Raul would have sent it like probably a couple hours after he left. Like, hey, can you please delete that footage? can you please
Delete that footage.
Is that, would that be a difficult request? Is that like an encryption? Would that be like a difficult request per se? It's like,
You with your background, I mean, without revealing yourself, that's pretty hard. But you could corrupt the footage of his face
oh, I could do. Yeah, I'll do that.
pretty easily. That's not too hard. You can disrupt the coding to when it shows his face at any point in time. It obscures and or altogether removes his face. That's achievable.
She's corrupting it almost in the sense that it doesn't seem to quite focus on his features. It's like those really shitty CCTV cameras when someone's too far a distance where you can't actually make out anything noticeable other than build, and that could be anyone.
Yeah. So yeah, that would have been achievable with the original security check that we did, or slicing check that we did. That got you the footage that you have. Speaking of which, are you just what are you planning with that footage? I'm curious.
I'm not planning anything at the moment. I just like having things that can be made useful at a later day when opportunity presents itself.
Oh my god, I'm curious to see how you work that out.
Yeah, it is terrifying.
I need to speak to Ego is what I need to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Chav informs you that he and Raul are taking off at this point off planet to another sector of the galaxy. Ego is on his own time clock, so whenever he wants to leave is up to him. Guy, he's no one knows what he's doing. He's an Acme character. That dude just
No one
disappears.
ever knows what Guy is doing. He just shows up and demands satisfaction about shrinkflation.
Exactly.
He's with Teresa. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's yeah. But yeah, Guy or no, Ego could be finishing up another bender with Jessa, or walking the streets, socializing with his urchins that he has working for him. What's one of the social exchanges that you guys have during this time frame?
Bess, while in transport to the planet, would actually like to go over the intercom on the ship.
Ooh.
Raul, could you report to the med bay for a moment, please?
Ooh. It's time for your checkup.
Raul probably in his hammock now. Mid
You guys are mid travel at this point, and a couple days into your journey, so yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's in his hammock. He had just literally been having some E-tape in his hand, throwing it against the ceiling, and gets this message. Fuck.
Is the intercom directed to his room, or is it shipwide?
Probably shipwide. I don't think Bess would know exactly where Raul is at any given time.
Chav's going to just say over the intercom, because he's an asshole, he's just going to say, "Turn your head and cough."
All right, Raul, you get a call, a beckoning from Bess in the med bay, and a taunting from Chav from the cockpit. What do you do?
after a couple moments. Fine. Swings out of the hammock. Goes over
As you-
to the intercom. As I what?
Well, as you hop out of the hammock, your feet will collide into the chassis of R5, who shrills at you angrily, basically telling you to watch it as he goes about his business towards the cockpit to meet up with Chav and assist him with his whatever his needs are. He's not a very friendly looking droid. He does look very angry at all times.
He'll like side eye at the droid chassis that he just purchased, then look back at it. Oh, if only I had a droid right now. Oh, I'll tear you apart. And strides out the room towards the med bay.
Dr. Besrutam, as you're waiting idly by in the med bay, you attending to some of your inventory checklist, and the doors behind you pop open. And there stands Raw.
Oh, good. Take a seat.
You rang. Right. It strides over, kind of shuffles, goes to one of those little like round stools things with the wheels on it, positions it about 5 feet away from him, sits down.
Bess is fiddling with some things on his data pad, sort of studying up on Rackbull Plague and things like of such. And he taps the pad off, sets it down on the desk, and actually scoots his chair over, kind of sliding the chair, and pulls up to be eye level with Raw.
I just wanted to touch base with you for a moment. These people we're going to see, the guild, I have a fair bit of credit with them, reputation-wise. I wanted to ensure that we're not going to jeopardize that. I don't truly know you all as well as I would like to, but I know we need work, I know we need credit, and there's plenty to be had on that planet. I wanted to know your thoughts.
What are you really asking me right now, Doctor?
It hasn't escaped my perceptive nature that you all get up to some shit sometimes.
To put it mildly.
Ever had a bounty on your head?
There was a time.
How do you feel about bounty hunters?
It's a gray area, shall we say.
I sort of feel the same. I don't really like them either, but I was one for quite a while. They are a tenacious lot.
There was a period of time that we were pursued by bounty hunters, my brother and I. We ran for years. They persisted. Then we joined some ragtag band of rebels. And they helped get rid of that influence. But it took so much just to get out from under their thumb. And so easily could be put back under. Sure. You're asking me if I will latch out again. Yes?
First of all, I didn't know you had a brother. What's your relationship like with him?
You see a very dark expression kind of cross over Rawl's face as he kind of just looks off to the side, remembering times gone by that were good, times that they were surviving. And the fact that he's not here, he looks back. I know I can trust him, even now, despite that he has left me. But that trust is growing thin by the day. The longer he's gone, that tether stretches thin. Will I latch out again? I don't know. It seems that hole that he left eats at me. And something has to fill it. And as of late, it has been rage. As rage doesn't require me to think. Just act. Just do.
When you have these rageful thoughts and feelings, what springs to mind most in those moments? Where does the rage come from?
I need to be the best and the brightest. I need to be the one that people turn to in times of peril, who they can count on. A symbol in some sorts, I suppose.
It's a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
pressure to put on oneself.
Someone has to. No one was there for me and my brother when we needed them most. So,
Let me put something to you. Would you like to have some of that pressure taken off your shoulders? Would you like to still be there for people, but not have it all be on you?
I would. However, time and time again, the decisions I make to try and find that piece of leverage in this galaxy, this sea of endless turmoil under the thumb of the Empire. Trying to find that piece and always left wanting. Doing it by myself is hard, and doing with others is harder. So what pressure can you relieve from me?
I can tell you that we come from very different backgrounds, and yet I too have had my brush with the Empire. My father, he wanted me to be something very different. He wanted me to take up a political position in the Empire so his business could grow. But I saw quickly the cruelty and the suffering that they spread throughout the galaxy, and I wouldn't have any part of it. Now, I'm not going to say that I had all this gumption to go and join up with the rebellion all of a sudden. No. But I just wanted to do good for my part. I had brains, and so I bent them towards helping.
So you chose a life of healing. Can respect that.
I also chose a life of doing no harm, ever. You'll maybe have noticed everyone I leave in my wake, be they enemy or friend, tends to get sleepy, as opposed to get dead.
I have noticed.
Excuse me. That is what I'm known for, actually, with the guild.
Would I have known of the guild before this?
The Bounty Hunters Guild is a very well-known organization. There's no there's no distinction between organizations. All of them seem to be like a concise hive mind of an organization. So the only distinctions there is ones that primarily get their source of work from the Empire, and one that just gets their general source of work from the collective law enforcement as from the galaxy as a whole. So there's a section of the guild that does primarily only deal with the Empire. But overall, the galaxy is widely aware of the Bounty Hunters Guild as a collective.
While
I will say this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
No.
please.
While I respect your ideals, unfortunately, the evil, the enemies you save, they still live to see another day, still live to make that same choice, to put duress under the weak.
Why do you think I surround myself with people who, I can look the other way?
I see
The
your
galaxy is not The galaxy is not as nice as I am. I recognize this. I'm not a fool. But I don't ever want to be the one staining my hands. That's not. There's a lot to be said for kneecaps. But
I wouldn't call you a coward, as I've seen you make decisions for people's lives on a regular basis. I see you dive headfirst into those ordeals. So, no, you're not a coward. Don't let anyone ever call you that. But I could never stay by hand to someone who has wronged me.
That being said, the Bounty Hunters Guild does have some pretty immutable rules. There's a lot of people in the Bounty Hunters Guild that, you know, they're very fence sitters, I would say, and they break the rules all the time. But breaking a contract is definitely not something you should ever do, and there'll be a bounty on your head if you go ahead and do that. Do not ever take non-union jobs unless specifically asked to by the guild. You will pay the union its dues, and do not flagrantly break the law whilst in pursuit of a target. So...
Well, then it's a good thing I'm not a bounty hunter.
I am, and anyone with me, and anyone I vouch for, will have to follow these rules. Otherwise...
Best can potentially deputize people, is what he's saying.
So this place we're going to, you have pull, but in order to do so, I have to toe the line, as it were.
I can't be made aware, nor can anyone ever find out that you've broken the rules. But as long as I don't know...
Then what are we talking about here?
Try your best to leave no one alive if you break a rule. That's terrible for me, coming from me, but it would be much worse if we left witnesses to our...
So, information for Dr. Bess. Dues are a pretty commonplace thing amongst the guild. They do vary organization to organization. Some people only collect a percentage of commissions from bounties. Others have a set rate. With Navarro, they don't only take a percentage of your pay due to the fact that they're not as densely populated as some other places. Planets like Coruscant and whatnot have a more regulated or a established due rate due to the fact that they're densely populated. Places like Navarro have to operate off of payment to payment because of the scarcity of their location. So with Navarro, you're looking at a 7% cut of any bounties that you take with them.
That being said, I do plan on offering my services as a doctor first to the guild. There are many bounty hunters that get hurt on jobs, and they go without medical care sometimes for a long while. So it's always good to check in. It's good for a lot of credits. Just sitting in... Imagine just setting the ship down, going and talking to a guy, and then having a line of patients who will all pay good credit to get healed. And then we can go and take a job ourselves when that dries up. Or I can deputize the two of you, and you can head off and do a job while I sit and heal people. That's up to you. But as I said, if I deputize you, follow the rules or leave no one alive.
Roll mulls over your offer, thinking all the ramifications. Absolute silence. I can work with that.
If you do enough bounties whilst being deputized, there is a chance they will see your potential and make you a hunter yourself. Which, Rawl, you will always have work anywhere you go in the galaxy. They can call you and say, I have a bounty. Do you want the puck? And you just say yes or no.
My brother and I have never been one for organizations. Even when we were with the rebels, we were not there for very long.
The Union is really... it's an organization, but it's really loose with its obligational ties. You can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
The code is more like guidelines.
Pretty much.
Basically. It varies location to location for sure. There's just only like a select cardinal rules amongst all the guilds or all locations.
Never break a contract, never steal a contract from another hunter. You will be fucking hunted down. It's not a joke.
That was a little more loosey-goosey. They never never knowingly steal a contract from another person.
If that bounty hunter comes in hot and heavy and you kill him in the crossfire, and then you figure out he was a bounty hunter, whoops.
Yeah.
These things happen.
You're not supposed to knowingly injure another guild member. But that being said, there's a lot to contemplate with this offer that Dr. Best presents before you. A means of income, a means of letting out aggression, a means of distraction in the vast galaxy.
Also,
at this time, go ahead.
If you break a law whilst you're not in pursuit of a guild target, they don't give a shit. And they'll also throw their weight in to alleviate you of those charges sometimes.
Yes, the guild does provide lawyers in times of legal entanglements, so on and so forth, as long as you are able, they deem you as defensible.
But are they as good as Ego?
Probably not. I mean, some of them are good at what they do. It just depends on how much they believe in your defense. That being said, this is a perfect time for us to go ahead to go to break with the contemplation of job opportunities presented to Rawl. Don't go anywhere because we got the exchange between Ego and Dove to unfold, as they have some juicy fucking gossip to unleash, and I'm excited to see that. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Get yourselves refreshed, go to the bathroom, whatever you gotta do, but be back here in 5 minutes. We'll see you soon. Hello and welcome back, all you wonderful To Be Dicers. It has been brought to my attention that I broke the cycle of information that was supposed to be presented at the start of every one of our shows that we put on, mainly due to the fact that I'm easily distractible. All you have to do is just throw some fancy words in my face and or entertaining messages, and eventually I will be distracted enough to not remember the structure of the show. That being said, let's go ahead and knock out the slate real quick, and then we can get right back into the scene. 2B Dice Adventures has plenty of shows available to you. Unfortunately, we did lose one show for the time being. That is Tales of Arden for Thursdays. Temporarily, we do plan on bringing it back, but the Dungeon Master, Chris Claybeard, has to return to the 9-to-5 working force for his own personal financial standings to take care of himself and his family, and we completely support that. To Chris Claybeard, we love you, we adore you, and you are a fantastic storyteller. And we look forward to you coming back to us once you're ready to. So do not rush. Take your time. Get yourself into a position where you feel confident that you can return to 2B Dice Adventures to continue the story that you put on so far. Because that story is compelling. I have dreams about it. I had a nightmare about Xenia dying, and I hated it. I hated it so much. I'm not lying. I had a nightmare about Xenia dying. It was
everybody. It eats into your everyday life.
It fucked me up. I'm not joking. It fucked me up. I woke up yelling. That being said, we have Wednesdays Valley of Endless War presented to you by our lovely Dr. Bess Rutam. Are we doing that this week, or do you need to take this week off for recovery?
If I can be here, I can be there. I'll be all right.
I'm just going to say, don't push yourself if you don't have to.
What a warrior.
I need D&D.
Yeah, you do.
I need it more than I need Tylenol right now.
Okay, you guys heard it here first. 2B Dice Adventures, Might, it will be conducting Valley of Endless War tomorrow. So tune in for that. And then Thursday, there is nothing we have slated for Thursday, but we do, however, have a date locked in for Dimensional Dial for this month, March 30th at 7 p.m. my time, Arizona Standard Time, as the rest of the world believes in daylight savings time, wherever that is, that hokey pokey stuff. 7 p.m. Arizona Standard Time, Dimensional Dial of Door Diego, or something like that, kicks back off. We have a continuation of that story. I have to keep up the brand. I have to keep the brand going. I can't help it.
I'm still waiting for somebody to complain. Like, I searched your website for Door Diego and it just didn't pop up.
March 30th, the last Sunday of the month of March, this month, tune in. We'll be returning with the party just after a very climatic moment of dealing with a false monarch taking over the hive of our very own Ren's colony of Thrycrete. And Clucky inheriting a bag of fucking tricks and whatever that's going to unfold after being told not to mind his own business while the adults are talking. What that could entail is I can't imagine, because Clucky's a psychopath. that being said, that's our slate for not only the week but the month. And then we return Tuesday as expected for Star Wars: Edge of the Empire. Let's go ahead and get right back into it. We have some juicy gossip that needs to be exchanged between both Ego and Guy at this time. Ego and Dove, sorry. Still got Guy on the mind, apparently.
Who doesn't?
Ego,
Always
right?
that guy on the mind.
He's always there. He's just
He's always present in the back of that. But
guy.
Ego and Dove, you guys Ego, you just got done with a certain local bartender, which you're probably fairly confident that Dove is probably aware of. You guys make contact with one another. Establish what's your guys' go-to meeting spot? A coffee shop, a local dive. What's your guys' go-to spot here on Arshta?
Usually wherever Ego feels like going, but he hasn't been before and wants to go check out, and Dove's like, yeah, okay.
Okay. So, Ego, you're wanting to show off. You want to check out a new spot here on Narshada. Let's see what we have available. You know what? We're gonna roll something. Give me 1 second. We're gonna come up with something entirely new. Not something that's already been established. Exit. There's a new local gastropub that just opened up. The Twin Suns Cantina. Known for its high energy aesthetic, club, very much ravish / home or house music, club and music and whatnot. It's only a couple weeks into its grand opening, so it's still trying to solidify itself as a groundbreaking location. So it's got a new air of an air of new or freshness to it on this massive planet of a city planet. So
Do we have club music?
I wish. Let's see. Actually, let's see what the old voice modulator has to offer.
Gotta get us in the zone, you know. This is important.
There we go.
Gossip.
Let's turn this music off. There we go. You guys enter into the club, the Twin Suns Club. The energy is lively. As you take a look around, as you're entering, there's plenty of citizens all over the place dancing, just vibing out. Several of them heavily inebriated, and just the flashing lights. Not the most conducive location for a face-to-face conversation, but you can find a more secluded area to be a little more personable with one another while also taking in the sights of this new club. And you do secure a booth. With your contacts, you manage to get a face-to-face with the owner of the club, and you explain to this Aqualish individual, hey, we're new to this club. We would like to enjoy the atmosphere, but we need a secluded area to just have a little meeting of sorts. And we'll go with the name of Jahara. Jahara, an Aqualish male, green skin, long treads, head tassels, braided back into a very neat bun. He is gracious and appreciative of your guys' arrival, and escorts you to the VIP room that oversees the club dance floor in its entirety. It's a little quieter. He offers a complimentary service of dancers to accompany you while you guys get have this meeting. I need to write this down. I don't want to forget this guy's name. Jahara.
Jahara.
So you've been busy.
Oh, busy is as busy doves, my lovely dovely.
What was the name? Forget. Which one were you with this time?
Oh, you make it sound so terrible.
It's not. I just like to be in the know. If you're referring to someone, I like to know who they are. Otherwise, it gets confusing.
It's Jessa. She's a bartender. It is what it is.
You have a type. It's always a bartender. There's no judgment. But there's a pattern.
Jahara.
I will say as well, I think Dove and Ego are both well aware that one of the stupidest things you can actually do is have a private discussion in a public place. So this is actually just pretense that Dove is making this superficial conversation with Ego, just to throw off anyone who might be listening or inclined to eavesdrop. And actually, beneath the table, she is sending him texts of a completely different conversation. And it begins verbatim with, "There's forced business that I'd like to discuss with you."
There's what business? Sorry?
There's forced business I'd like to discuss with you.
Ego says above the table, well, you know my plans. What have you been getting up to? And under, just tell me.
They continue that conversation above table in which, while Ego is typing out his reply, Dove is telling him about Kalfo's generous gift that she's very excited to show off. Shall they have a bit of moment in action? And she's like outwardly gushing. This one isn't pretense. She's genuinely excited about it. Is so secure. It has 6 locking mechanisms. I'm going to modify the helmet. It can't go over my horns at the moment, but we have natural armor. Therefore, we can take the back carapace out of the equation and we can modify it with this, and this. And she's just going off on a little tangent as he's doing his own reply. And beneath the table, she's saying, "Have you had any encounters with others with your abilities aside from our acquaintances? The two that we've known fairly well. Anyone try to recruit you, harm you, otherwise get their hands on you?"
Not. What is this about?
Sorry, I just got credits. I'm just hearing the notification. I'm like, oh.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
No, it's great. That's canon, like mid spiel about the drama. Hey, it's payday.
Yeah,
This
your
one's
bank account just chirped.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
That will let him know this stays strictly between us. And I do mean that. No pillow talk involved with whoever is sharing your bed at this time. There was a suspicious occurrence within the House of Hut, shall we say. in which several members were devastated, disembodied, with charred marks of slashes across the wall that I know were not made by any common weapon. And then, as she's gesturing and just casually waves a hand towards his own sabers. Have you heard of any incidences like this before?
At this time,
Have
Ego, give me a hard lore check.
Lore? I don't know nothing about no lore.
At this stage, Dove is just trying to gauge
Oh.
what you might know yourself versus what she has discovered.
Mhm.
No.
That's 3 failures, 2 threats to beat. This club music is a fucking vibe.
It's great. This is
Well,
fantastic.
there was
actually.
that Order of Space Wizards that
You want to use a light side point? That'd be fun. Actually,
I mean, we got plenty.
We got plenty.
And we have a triumph.
And we have a oh, that's my triumph book.
I had one earlier.
What do you-
Well, yeah, sure. I'll use one light side and
Why not? Okay. Go ahead and roll that lore check for me.
I did. It was 2 successes, 2 advantages. So with
Oh shit! Why am I not seeing it?
triumph,
There we go. With the triumph, that makes it that doesn't beat
3.
the difficulty, unfortunately, unless you have another triumph that you can cash in.
Would it help if I gave a little bit more information about the scene, specifically describing?
You know what? That's a good point. Go ahead and roll a boost die for me as well.
boost die?
Well, didn't you want to use a light side to upgrade an ability die?
Yeah, you also
Yeah.
need to roll a proficiency die. So when you cash in a light side token, that upgrades one of your ability die to a proficiency. So give me a yellow die roll and a blue die roll.
I got it. I know what they mean.
There you go. Oh, fuck. That made it worse.
That did not help. Did not help at all.
It made it a whole lot worse. Shit.
God.
Your first
So
roll
you've
was
had a
better.
quarter of a drink. You've had a quarter.
Listen.
Gives you a vague, so you get a vague recollection of what Dove is talking about. You're not necessarily connecting the dots, but as you're thinking about it, she seems to be describing something along the lines of what occurred a long time ago, about 20 years ago. You are aware of Order 66, and the only reason why you're aware of it is because of your own innate abilities. You know that if you push your abilities too far, it could potentially put you at risk. So you've been stringent about using them. But so as Dove goes on about this encounter of somebody of extraordinary ability, it kind of clicks, but you're not necessarily sure as to what she's trying to direct you towards.
I take another sip of my Bantha Colada. I'm not under the table. I'm not getting what you're trying to tell me right now. Are you talking about something that happened recently? Because nothing's coming to mind. I've been in the Undercity doing random shit the last day or 2.
It was recent, and you wouldn't know of it because we went through great pains to hide it. It's why the huts are on such high alert and why Kalfa was reluctant to let me go, but I got paid, so that's all that matters, really. I did say I would go
I
back
thought
for
that
it.
had to do with the Pike Syndicate.
What happened with the Pike Syndicate?
This is news to you, Dove.
So the random shit that I was talking about, the oh, there was a kid that went missing, and we went to go find him, and turns out the Pikes were running an underground, like, indentured servitude slash slave ring situation underneath the Hutt's noses, but they know now. Everything is good.
This is drawing dollar signs over your eyes right now, Dove. As you can now arguably increase your price drastically with the Hutts.
Delightful. Good to know. I take it everything's been accounted for and otherwise dealt with?
Well, the Pikes were using this gang of like teenagers to do their kidnapping for them.
Like a proxy unit, or
Yeah. Which we handed them over, put the fear of the Hutts in them. Haven't seen them around the last couple of days, so maybe that worked, or maybe they're recovering and they're gonna come back in a week.
It's only been, just to clarify, it's only been about 4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh wait, no,
Days.
this is a day after.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's only been about 11 hours since your interaction with the Cathound gang. So yeah, you're
I
looking at
haven't
about
seen them in
11 p.m. right
hours.
now. There you go. There we go. We're getting back on track with the timescale, guys. We did a lot of time jumping.
My point stands. Haven't seen them today, so maybe it worked or maybe it didn't. Don't know.
And then Dove is sort of thinking about it as she's making a point to stir her drink.
Dove, for Dove, you would have picked up on some tail end conversation towards the end of your dealings with Caltho before you had your conversation with him, telling him that you're not going to honor a renewal at this time. So this, along with the information that Ego just provided to you, provides some context as to how you can, if you do decide to renew your contract with Caltho, you can renew it at an increased rate because there's a present force that is trying to undermine them, and which will involve more of your direct involvement to dissuade or dissolve.
Hey Tarzan, why are you trying to keep my mechanic away from my new ship?
Sure.
Does she chase the money or does she chase the adventure? That's the question.
The answer is yes. Kids these days are so bold, but then we can't say much. I think we're equally as rambunctious, so actually we have no room to talk in the slightest. And then beneath the table, Dub will go on to say, I don't believe a pact syndicate would be quite on the same level as rumors of what other operatives the Empire keeps under their wing. I've only met a handful of Force users, yourself included, but there have been stories you've probably heard of these bogeymen, these nightmares who hunt down others like them for whatever nefarious purpose I don't care to probe. That's not my business. But it's strange when it starts coming so close to home.
Dove, do you reveal the footage, or do you go into great detail of what you saw in the footage with Ego?
I think
I will go. What are you?
Now saying, if there's an inkling that you want to show me something, then we can skip out at any time.
So the question is there something that Dove is
Dove
dying
will show
to show?
Dev will show Ego, but it's not in such a way where it's like, look at this photo that I took of the schematics, and then they're going to swap phones and you will see the video.
Okay.
As she passes the phone equivalent over to Ego, it does show the first pic, the image of the blueprint schematics that she's drawn up of the helmet that she was just describing, but she flicks her finger just so to swipe it to another video, and it is the footage that she herself had found.
Okay. Dove hands over the security footage that she managed to make a copy of from the Hut Council stronghold. As the footage begins to play, one second, I gotta scroll up. Okay, here we go. What you see is a fragmented security footage that Dove has been able to recover and rebuild. You see a dark silhouetted individual donned in black armor, as well as a long black cape that enters the chambers of the Hut Council. All of the members that you're aware of the Hut Council are present in this room, minus Caltho. The timestamp on this footage correlates to the time Core Atlas was present on the planet Bespin. The video cuts out for a moment. Oh, I gotta cut back to the other message because she did restore the footage. The audio is distorted by a voice modulator coming from the figure in black armor, unrecognizable to you. Here we go, guys. All right, 1 second. I gotta make sure I can choose the right voice. Give me 1 second.
Testing. No.
Testing.
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 Hush!
Full disclaimer, I did not think this was going to happen today, so I did not have a voice modulator prepared for what you're about to hear.
Okay.
Testing.
That's pretty good.
The Huts have interfered for the last time in Imperial business and slaughtered your High Council. My Lord Buku and the others were slain by my hand. I am here under the Emperor's orders to ensure the message is clear. Interfere with the Imperial interests, and your sentence is death.
Is at that moment, as this individual enshrouded in black armor ignites a red blade. The footage still cuts out, but you see the radiant light of the red blade being swung. Just as you hear the Huts scream out in pain and agony as blaster bolts are fired. The screech of the blade as it reflects blaster bolts being reflected from it. And I gotta scroll back up. Give me 1 second. As this individual leaps forward with the red blade, the footage cuts out as a blaster bolt is reflected directly into the camera. Another footage, the footage comes back from a different angle And at this time, you see laying at the foot of this individual encased in black armor, the council of the Huts laid butchered and charred at his feet. You hear as he begins to depart the chambers, a calm and steady breath. As his blade retracts. And the footage ends. Okay, that's enough. Did you guys hear
Actually
the...
anything. No,
You didn't hear anything? Shit!
that's why I did.
Fuck! I'm over
I
here
heard
thinking...
you.
We heard the you doing
I
the
heard the
voice,
breathing.
which was good.
I heard the breathing.
You did hear it?
Yeah.
You heard the breathing?
I heard the breathing.
Didn't hear it.
Maybe I just have good headphones.
Yeah, I heard it too.
So this is what you
Don't know why I
hear
didn't.
as the footage ends. Want me to do it one more time? One more time. One more time just for clarity.
Ego replaying it.
Oh, it's super quiet for me. I don't know why.
Headphones. Headphones
Yeah.
is key.
And earbuds.
Ego, as you are seeing this footage for the first time, and you've heard stories of an individual encased in black armor hunting down Jedi along with a force of individuals also capable of the Force, known as the Inquisitorium. I need you to make me a fear check at this time. This is the same difficulty that Dove just faced only hours before. Is a daunting challenge. The challenge rating of 3.
What am I rolling?
It's a fear check. So this is going to be your willpower, I believe. Let me double check.
It was discipline for me.
Oh, it was discipline? There you go. Discipline. Discipline check with a daunting difficulty with a challenge of 3.
I don't know.
Just 2 fucking despairs. Oh my god. Okay. The world grows quiet around you at this time. Hence why we're no longer hearing the club music at this moment. We're directly focused into the perspective of Ego at this time as he's observing the footage of this armored individual that the audience knows as Darth Vader. Ego only hearing rumors for decades now of this individual that's cut down dozens, if not hundreds, of Jedi upon the execution of Order 66. You're not that old to be able to be direct witness of these events, but you are a product of it. This haunting, resounding sound of a respirator echoes in your mind. Your heart begins to race. You can feel it pumping harder as you observe this boogeyman cutting down the most powerful force aside from the Empire itself in the galaxy. Cuts them all down with ease, despite being surrounded by hundreds of people. And he emerges alone, victorious, among a graveyard of bodies. And you watch as that red blade retracts back into the hilt and he exits the room. And you can't help but feel a sense of dread being confirmed. That being the boogeyman or Bigfoot being confirmed to you is actually real and could potentially be out there and find you at some point in time. You maintain your cool, your discipline, but you now know that the threat is very real in this moment.
I think Ego just gives like a low whistle as he flicks the footage back to the image, handing the phone back, the data pad back to Dove. Oh, interesting spec on that one. And then just grabs the drink that he had and like knocks it all the way back. I think I'm gonna go for a walk. Do you want to go for a walk?
I'll make sure you don't puke in an alley by yourself, and I'll hold your lucky back.
Mm.
She does, like, gently
Gonna-
lay a hand on his shoulder, making sure he is okay. We're down
He's
invested
not-
our own.
Yeah, he's not shaking or anything, but you could tell in like the brief look that he gave as he handed you back your device that there was just like a what the fuck.
This is why you need to us someone with innate abilities. That's why I have you around.
Yeah.
You know things.
You just confirmed a Force user's deepest fear, that the boogeyman is real. So you guys make your way outside the Twin Sons Club.
Ooh,
Back into the streets where you guys can be a little more open with one another as the streets are more densely populated to where you don't have to worry about overseers listening in. You have plenty of white noise around you. What do you guys discuss at this time? You got a lot on your mind at this point.
Ego's
A
brain
lot.
is so tense right now.
Yeah.
How'd you come by those specs?
So, funny story. I was poking around because a mutual friend raised my interest, and I was very curious why the council room was fucked up to such an extent, and yet I did not hear about it until much later. My boss is paranoid. I'd like to know why.
Makes sense, given
So
that.
I found out why.
And you haven't heard anything more about anyone like that in the vicinity?
No. Silence on all fronts. It's like
Good.
they're
Well-
pretending nothing ever happens.
I mean, this is hot space. Nothing like that should be happening.
Mind you, this is not only is the boogeyman confirmed real, but the Hut Council, the law creators of Nar Shaddaa, are fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's potentially no law or no power on Nar Shaddaa anymore. The only person that is in position of power is Caltho.
Caltho. God.
There's been a giant vacuum just created only weeks before.
Which is probably how the pikes have gotten so undetected for so long.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So now that you see, now that these pieces are falling into place, you're realizing that the huts are deeply compromised at this point. That they can't even be touched on their own home planet by the pikes.
Oh, Nashina's fucked.
It always has been. This isn't new, but now there's going to be territories drawn up, civil war in the streets. People are going to be choosing sides. It could go. No. I don't think it's a. Yeah, this is Dove's personal opinion. Dove doesn't think that it could go either way. Dove is thinking it's going to go one way, but it's going to be very difficult getting that.
That brings up a good point, Dove. I need we're gonna need a type of check from you because you are tactically inclined. So let's go with an education check. Knowledge, skill, education. Let's call this a hard difficulty. Nothing too crazy.
Can I coax you into letting me do an underworld check instead?
It could encompass that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, knowledge. So that's a little bit better.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
a lot better.
Okay. With this, now that you're talking to Ego and you're these pieces are coming together, Ego revealing that the pikes have been operating on Nar Shaddaa almost openly. You realize that this is going to create a war front that if you continue your contract with Caltho, will put you at the forefront of the battlefield, increasing the likelihood of you being killed in battle.
That's why I didn't do that. That is a 3 successes, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving you this insight. Like, if you continue your contract with Caltho, you're being put on the front lines, and you may get killed in battle, which is not in line with what you would like to be doing.
Not at this time, on my own terms.
Yeah.
I'm not someone's meat shield. I deal with the meat shield of other people.
Right. So, yeah, you put in the perspective that the boogeyman is real for Ego, and then on top of that, Ego puts in the perspective that you are standing at the precipice of a full-out war. Should you continue your contract with Caltho? And you guys are sitting at a crossroads of decisions to make.
Nice time of the year to get off planet, I think.
Sounds so. Slade. Slade.
As Ego brings up Slade, you're very much aware of who Slade is. You've dealt with him a few times as well.
Okay.
I think Ego's just gonna pop off a very quick coded communique to Slade, just as a warning, things are gonna be going down in a little bit. Be prepared.
The gossip queen or king himself just passing off information. Oh, you want to get off this planet?
Yeah, just hop a little bit, pack up your valuables, your necessities, shunt them a little bit ways because you might not want to be here.
Give me, depending on how you word this, it may involve a skill check. Give me verbatim what you say to Slade in this communique.
Verbatim? So Slade and Ego have done deals in the past. They would have an established communication, like codes, lingo with like
Yes.
how things are going with
Okay.
regards to a collection. So I want Ego to use the coded language of going south, but not in terms of like the specific thing that he asked me to do.
Okay. This will be a streetwise check.
Okay.
Streetwise check, hard difficulty. We'll give you a boost die because you have a established line of communication with Slade.
Oh God. Okay. I'm just gonna check.
Oh shit, that's pretty harsh. 4 failures, 2 threats to beat. Yeah.
Thanks. I'm just coolly checking if I have anything for streetwise. Somewhere in something. No, most of my stuff is charm.
If you have an ability that could potentially help you, just give me present an argument for me, and we'll see if I can agree with it.
Okay. I'm just gonna use my touch of fate, which lets me add 2 boost die to 1 check per session.
Okay.
So that's a boost die that you gave me, and then 2 more boost die.
Okay. That's fair. I like it. So 3 boost die in total.
Please. Thank you so much.
This is going to be interesting. Oh. Yeah. Okay. You still have an advantage on the table after all that. Okay. I'm going to say Slade doesn't Slade doesn't entirely understand what you're trying to get at. So he's kind of pressing into you to get more information out of you, which you're probably not wanting to give up over communicate over the HoloNet like this, since it's easily observable. So like you get a message back like, this means nothing to me. What are you trying to say? And that's when you're like, this is not something I want to kind of like say over the internet. This is kind of a big deal.
Sometimes if we're too stupid to get a coded message, maybe it's survival of the fittest,
Listen, Slade and me have a decent working relationship that I'm not willing to give up just yet.
We can have a long walk.
I have more things to talk to you about. God.
I mean, your ship is docked in the other Undercity in that hidden spaceport, so I mean, it is on the way.
Yeah. Just a little detour, just like a quick little. I'm just gonna pop in for a second.
Okay, so you're gonna make your way down to the Undercity. All right.
Well, leaving the planet. Dove, are you coming with me?
Where are you going?
Oh, Undercity. Swing by a friend, get my ship, and potentially leave.
Solid plan. I received a comms from Chav requesting some assistance and a set of coordinates. I haven't confirmed, but I'm going to help.
Oh yeah, your friends. I actually need to meet them.
Let's not go that far yet.
Okay. The allies you were with previously.
Yes.
Yes, I think one of them wanted to get some kind of droid parts off of Slade. There's a spice run that we might have to do. Also, and this was the other thing I wanted to tell you about. What do you know about Beskar English?
He just casually dropping that down on the streets of Narshada. All right. Lore check for me, please, Dove. Hard difficulty.
What's that? Is that what we're asking?
Lore check,
Ren?
yes.
Or Beskar, specifically Beskar. Like the
Specifically Beskar, yes, yes.
armor? Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do Underworld and
Okay, I can see.
Underworld just because
Yeah.
I'm thinking Mandalorian bounty hunters. They're very conspicuous.
You have the guild works with a lot of Mandalorians, so you could get some underworld information from them. I'll go with it.
Your success
Okay.
and five advantages. Thank you, sir.
So 1 success, 2 advantages still on the table. After that, you specifically are personally intrigued by Beskar, as you have been made aware of its reflective properties akin to lightsaber blades, which is a rare commodity in itself, but you know Beskar is capable of reflecting lightsabers in particular.
Yes, I do.
And that's been you've been on the hunt for it. Granted, it's very hard, extremely hard to come by. But the fact that Ego's bringing it up kind of is raising a red flag for you right now, or green flag maybe.
You're not usually one for heavy armor type. What brings us up?
Oh no. Those allies of yours might have some interesting things with them.
Oh. They've been busy too.
Apparently. Come on, I gotta go by Slade.
That will also tell you that if there's further information on Beskar, the better people to ask would be chatting up a Mandalorian. It's the easiest way to go. I'm sure that's well within your capabilities.
Mandalorians or the guild itself, they have pretty extensive knowledge of it. You guys make your way down to Slade's workshop. Ego, you kind of spell it out for Slade to get the fuck off the planet.
Yeah.
Shit's about to go down. You guys then make your way to your respective ships. Dove, are you taking your own fighter off planet, or are you going to leave it here on Nar Shaddaa?
I'm not leaving my ship here. It's got my little workshop and my paddle droid in it.
All right.
It's coming with me. Uno
you
can fly. My visor.
So you're going to leave Uno to pilot the ship?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So easy enough. You and Ego travel on his Fire Spray patrol boat and meet up
Vagabond
with
2.
the Vagabond 2 to meet up with Chav and his team. You guys are a couple days behind, but we enter our scene outside the atmosphere of Navarro. At this time, Chav, Bess, Rawl, R5, and B4. Is it B4? B4.
Before
All in
what?
the cock. Actually, B4 wouldn't. Shut up.
It puts you back to how you were before.
B4 probably wouldn't go outside of the medical bay unless you go outside the ship. So it's just the four of you with R5 in the cockpit as you exit hyperspace above the atmosphere of Navarro. At this time, everyone recovers all points of exhaustion or all points of strain. This is a 5-day travel, so you recover 1 point of wounds every day of travel. So if you so you can recover up to 5 wounds.
Honestly, if you visited Best at all this week, you're good.
Anybody aboard the VCX 100, yes. Treatment from Dr. Best will completely recover you potentially.
I'm just saying, like, imagine having wounds or strain.
I hate you.
What's that?
It is at this time. We got to turn off the Corpo Plaza sound here because we're in space now.
Or not. We have radio up here. I've decided.
Some background music.
There we go.
It's either the radio or
The
Chad's
question-
thinking spaceship days.
The question stands is, Chav and company, do you guys remain outside the atmosphere of Navarro until Dove and Ego catch up, or do you guys go ahead and make your descent and begin making contact with the guild?
Yeah, I don't think that.
We don't know that they have followed us.
Yeah, we kind of gave them an invitation. They did not RSVP.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be established now, whether or not Dove and Ego would have said that they're on the way.
You already stated that there's no conversation in hyperspace. We've been traveling all this time.
Right. Well, okay. We've been kind of leaping back and forth in time. So it could have been established that Ego and Dove could have made contact before you guys left the atmosphere. Granted, there's also the HoloNet. Granted, it is slower. It is a slower form of communication. You could get a message upon exit of hyperspace saying that they are on the way. But that's up to them whether or not they would be telling you that they're on the way. So I'm going to leave that up to them.
I think Chav specifically would just get a message, like completely unprompted, of Dove saying on our way and the expected time of travel it's taken to before we arrive.
Okay.
So how long would we be waiting in orbit if that was the case?
So upon your exit, you would have been, or the timestamp that you got would have been 2 days into your guys' hyperspace travel. So you would get from the timestamp to upon your exit from hyperspace, they're probably about 2 days behind you.
That's also accounting for. I don't know if there's a difference in hyperspace engines.
Ooh, that's a good point. You have VCX 100 has a hyperspace or a speed of 3, and a fire spray has a speed of. Let me go to my vehicles tab here. Is a patrol
That looks
boat.
like a 4.
Is it a 4?
It's looking like 4.
Ooh,
It's looking
shit!
like
So
a
they're
very
faster.
dramatic 4.
They're
No,
faster than you guys.
Lower number is faster.
Oh, that's right. The lower the number, the faster the ship.
So 3 days.
So they would be 3 days behind you guys.
And Chav is just complaining the whole time because the Nothoan Chimera has a hyperspace engine of 1.
It would have been 5 days behind.
So if we're talking about 3-4 days behind us, something like that,
We would probably set down.
probably set that's a long time to be circling the planet. So
That's a lot of time that
Yeah.
I could be seeing
making
patients.
money.
We don't have a lot
You
of
sent-
stores either.
You sent Dove coordinates, so she's going towards those coordinates. She doesn't know where you yourself are actually. So that you get that means.
So yeah, Dove would be heading directly to Navarro, specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys touch down, go through the process with tower control to get your landing bay. You guys are going to get assigned to landing bay B4.
Double checking Navarro. What is the? How concerned should I be that our ship's going to get searched?
No. It's an
Navarro's
outer rim planet.
Yeah, Navarro's a loosely populated planet, mainly controlled by the guild.
The guild wouldn't give a
all
shit about
guild
spice, right?
anyways.
Yeah, there is a imperial presence, but it's very minuscule. Best would know that it's more so remnants or outliers or warlords that don't have a strong tie to the empire. They're more so war criminals or whatnot.
So I'm not worried about somebody discovering that we have spice.
Oh no,
Okay.
not at all.
Then yeah.
And you guys don't have the spice yet. He
are we
hasn't.
looking it up?
You haven't gotten the details yet from you haven't gotten the details from Slade yet. He has yet to arrange the pickup and drop off at this point.
Well, shit.
So yeah, you guys are good for now.
Wait. Backtrack question real quick, because I just remembered. The bike that Raw acquired, is that also on my ship?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All your personal gear is all on the ship. Your droids, the medical equipment that Dr. Best had acquired for the ship. You guys are quite outfitted at this point. And I need to start destroying your guys' equipment.
Dad will put her down, and any questions about like docking fees or refueling fees or anything like that, he's going to point those people directly at Raw.
Yeah.
Not
So yeah.
my ship. I'm just flying it.
So, Dr. Bass, where was this guild you're so fond of mentioning?
So refuelment is you travel for 5 days. That's that's 5 fuel cells. So each fuel cell costs 50 credits. So 5 times 50 is 2,500 credits. 2,500 credits. Wait, what?
5 times 50 is 250.
250. My math is wrong. Yeah, you're right. 250.
I was going to cry.
Smooth move,
I have
buddy.
no money.
250
Not gonna pull
plus,
fast one on me.
plus
Best agent.
125 for the rental pad rental.
375.
So 400.
Yeah. All right. So yeah,
400.
400 credits in total. And you guys make your way towards the city.
Who's
cities.
paying it? Because I'll pay it. This was my.
I got it. It's my ship.
Okay.
You guys make your way towards the Bounty Hunters Guild Central Hall, located deep within the city. For the viewers, the city is not currently under the administration of Carl Weathers' character. It's a precursor of his character by the name of. I had it written down.
Krell.
Yep, there you go. Thank you.
Warl Heathers.
Bro.
R.I.P. Carl Weathers. You were a wonderful, wonderful character and actor. I love that guy. You guys are greeted by the Tower Controls administration. They direct you to the landing pad B4. And it is at this point that let's turn off the cockpit sound and go to a more town cities. Well, actually, let's just go to some ambient music. You guys start making your way towards the guild hall at the direction of Dr. Rutan. Make sure that the sound is low for all of us. There we go. Dr. Rutam, it's been a couple years since you last been here. The last you were aware that the guild was under the administration of a certain Rhodian individual who's
Kossian.
Who's not not widely respected by the guild, mainly due to his blundering for the most part. He established this guild on Navarro as a means to try and garner some respect. And he's been successful in the administration aspect, which attributed to your administration your administration into the guild. But since your time, it's been a long time, and whether or not your prior relationship with this individual will still stand, kind of falls into question at this time for you. You haven't been in regular contact with him. You guys travel for about an hour into the city. It's about 11 a.m. Galactic Standard Time. The guild hall seems to be appropriately maintained. Still seems to be in operational order. There's the typical guard at the door to greet you. The guard being a telltale droid. So as you approach, it pops. The eye socket pops out. In binary, you interpreted it to being present your identification, and you present your chain code. The droid observes the chain code in its entirety, retracts without a word, and the doors begin to open before you.
Is it packed in here? A lot of hunters.
At this time, being that it's about midday, not so much, but there is quite a bit of activity. As you enter, you see a wide assortment of well-armed individuals. You see none with any discerning features, as they're all adorned in heavy armor. But you do see a couple Trandoshans that typically stand out, as they don't wear armor typically, because of their thick hides. You see a Wookiee. A Wookiee with dark fur, gray streaks in the cranial area, a graying essentially you get a sense that one of his eyes are dead or decaying. Carrying a bowcaster, the stoutened figure, an imposing individual to observe. You see a human male adorned in haphazard battle armor with a headdress. You see an IG unit currently in mid-conversation with this human bounty hunter. You see several Mandalorians off in their own section of the guild hall, talking amongst themselves. As you guys make your way past the main hall, you make your way towards the office of your former guildmaster.
Before we go in to the office, I sort of turn to Chev and Rawl.
Please, while we're here, let me do the talking.
Jeff kind of puts his hands up and doctor's orders.
No,
You
step through
Make-
the door.
The doors open up to you. There inside resides a Rhodian individual with blue hair.
Caussian. Indigo
Caussian.
scaled Caussian is what you say.
Yep, that's right. Indigo, not blue. Indigo. Skinned Rhodian. That's the name of Caussian.
Blast him.
Caussian.
Is it Caussian?
You keep wanting to make him a Rhodian.
I can't help it. I can't help it. I like Rhodians. Because one I don't remember. I thought Caussian was his name. I gotta pull up the character sheet. Shit, give me 1 second. Where is he? Search Caussian. There we go. Get rid of Odell.
Try to raise the price. You swindle us on the credits getting the park here. Now you're trying to change an NPC's characteristics.
How do you spell Caussian again?
Cosian.
I didn't write him down. Holy fuck. I blundered really hard. I did not make a character sheet for this guy. Yeah.
3 despairs that you got, so we're gonna cash those all in.
Because it's
now.
in the fucking chat, not my fucking notes. I need to work on that. I am so sorry.
Don't apologize to us. Apologize to the Rhodian.
That's not right either. Fuck me. Oh, okay. This was private discussion, right?
Yes.
There we go. I don't have any. Oh my god. There we go. Caussian. Woo! Same history, same name, but indigo scaled Caussian with long white hair with yellow eyes. Now I gotta look up what that looks like. Bartek Krell is his name. Sorry. I forgot to create a character sheet for this guy, apparently. A former bounty hunter turned guild master.
Look like they have like elongated faces and noses. They look like lizard people, almost.
Let's see if we can pull them up on the game table. There we go. Like little goat people. That's right. They look like goat talls without the horns, but a beak. Long white hair, yellow eyes. This individual was a former bounty hunter turned fledgling guild hall master as an attempt to gain recognition within the guild. Barda has a history of blundering his contracts, and many members of the guild collective didn't take him seriously as a hunter. So as a way of commanding respect, he started the guild hall on Navarro, a backwater planet, as a way to show the others that he's worthy of respect. At this point of his career, he's in his 50s, a little on the fledgling side, withering side. So as you enter into his office, he turns his gaze to you, his bright yellow piercing eyes, taking you all in as he squints at Bess's direction more intently. Rutam, is that you?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, what brings you back here?
Well, as with most hunters, I'm in need of credits.
Yes. I'm sorry, but if I remember correctly, your bounty hunter status remains inactive. You haven't taken up a job with us in quite some time.
It has been a while. I got another job. Pretty decent paying job for a while. Steady pay. So, opportunity knocked. But I've been unceremoniously fired. And so, I come crawling back to you.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, we have a reactivation fee for our members that have been inactive for a time. And then you're aware of the 10% commission rate for...
10%? I thought it was 7.
Give me a negotiation check real quick. I'll give you a boost die.
You did say earlier that it was 7%.
Yeah, I know. I know what I said. I know.
You said negotiation?
Yep, a negotiation check.
I'm pretty good.
Let's see. This is going to be a hard difficulty with a challenge of 2.
You said a boost die?
Yeah, I'll give you a boost die. Oh, shit. You better roll 2 successes with that fucking boost.
Come on, man.
I'm rolling so good today. And I don't even have to cash in fucking tokens.
Well, fucking stop, will ya?
No, I don't want to. Imagine if this would have been a combat encounter. Oh, you guys would be hurting.
So he just sees that it's not received well, him trying to negotiate the price. So he just like...
You changed the
rate, yes. If you haven't noticed upon your arrival, Navarro's prospering.
Is it?
Yes. The guild
I
rate...
Roger, your cut, of course, and my dues, of course, will be paid as well.
The dues for reactivation will be 2,500, and then any contracts accepted through us will come with a 10% commission.
2,500, easy enough.
I'm sure you understand the guild's
of course
stipulations.
Now, of course, you know how I operate. I have a fairly established medical facility nearby.
Yes.
If you would be in need, I would be amenable to giving medical care to the hunters for a charge to them personally. And we could talk about perhaps me taking a buck eventually. I think for the next 4 days I'm going to settle in or so. But
that's fair. I'm sorry. Who is your friends that are accompanying you at this time?
This is Rawl and Chav. Actually, we are going to be working as a sort of a unit.
Rawl and Chav, at this time, you see this Kassian individual. He's adorned in a silky, velvety blue robe with maroon trimming. Well into his elder years at this point. He uses a walking stick as a means of assisting his traversal, and he kind of cautiously makes his way up to the two of you to get a closer inspection of the two of you. You, as he looks to you, Chav. We don't see too many of your kind around here. And as he turns to Rawl, I'm not sure what you are exactly. Could be a Northwind, a variant of sorts. Oh.
Yeah, not all Northwinds are as pretty as I am.
It's a pleasure to meet the both of you. I'm Barter Crow, the proprietor of the guild hall here. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Rog shakes his head, I guess, and
Very fairly grasps yours. You get a sense if you squeeze too hard, you might injure him.
he does kind of put a little bit of pressure in the grip. As he responds, I'm Thosian.
Hazim, could you ease up, please, friend? My old bones can't endure as much as my career used to afford me.
Barda,
Yes.
would it be too much trouble to deputize these two? They have been made aware of the Bounty Hunter's code.
Deputization is well within my capabilities. You trust these two individuals to operate within our code and parameters.
I trust them implicitly.
Roll deception. Okay.
I will.
Yes.
Honestly, just do it.
You know
See
what?
Okay, hey, wait.
Once
It's at this time. Let's do a cool check from Barda. What is your discipline ability dice that you have?
Discipline?
Yes.
It's one green one.
Just one. Okay, so this is going to be a easy difficulty for him, which makes sense because he has a history with you. All right, he succeeds. What does he see? Is there a level of distrust?
Yeah.
A level of... Okay.
They're very new to me, but he wants to get this done.
A level of
because-
unsureness.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's taking a chance.
Yeah. Barda, see, as he turns to Bess for this portion of the conversation, he turns to the two of you. Bess instills a level of confidence in the two of you. Good. You seem capable sorts. There's only a couple of guidelines that you need to keep awares of yourselves at all times while operating under the protection of the guild. Should a bounty surrender implicitly, they are not to be harmed under your supervision. Avoid at all costs any collateral damage. Operate within the guidelines of the law of the land that you conduct yourselves on. And do your best to not besmirch the name of the guild. Keep those tenets in mind and you'll do well within the guild. Mind you, you'll have a long way to go if you do decide to become members of the guild. There's a trial period, a probationary period, if you will, to be inducted. But you follow Dr. Rutan's guidance, and you could see yourselves as future members of the guild. I leave you deputies under the guidance of Dr. Rutan. Welcome to Navarro's Bounty Hunters Guild.
That
Do you
being
want to
said,
get the gift hat or shall I, Chav?
Say that again.
Do you want the gift hat or that says bounty hunter on it or shall I?
I mean, if there's, some sort of badge or, hat, jacket, whatever the case.
Just a temporary chain code added to your personal chain code.
Yeah. Well, I guess that works.
I will I will ensure that they know the code by heart and follow along.
Very well.
That being said, for the next 4 days, we will be on pad B4. Our ship is the VCX. Anyone in need of medical services can certainly find their way there.
Very well. Good. I would suspect that you'd utilize your usual office as a means of triage, not the. Do you intend to use the ship as your triage?
The medical services on the ship are actually pretty up to snuff. Even have our own fully submergible Bacta tank.
Intriguing. Look at you moving up in the world, Rutam. Well done.
It was not inexpensive.
I'd imagine. Very well. Mind you, the pucks for this day today has all been claimed at this point, so I have no work for you today. But check in tomorrow, bright and early, 9 a.m., and I should have some work readily available for you then.
We'll be back in a couple of days. We have some more friends potentially showing up.
Ah, very good. Do I need to start prepping more chain codes for deputization?
I think maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe not. We'll play it by ear.
Very well. All right. It's been a pleasure, Rutam.
Always a pleasure.
Good evening, gentlemen. You find yourselves the resplendent here on Navarro. We have plenty for the entertainment district here. We're a growing city, so take advantage of all the accoutrement that we have available to you.
The steak at their strip clubs is.
Don't mind if I do.
Raw is hungry.
And
Uh,
that's other
It's been
words that
eating
start with
ship
H.
rations for
So he
weeks.
kind of ushers you all out. And as he's leaving the room and the door shuts behind him, you hear him a string of curse words and nutties.
Yeah,
Hey, you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Barda is definitely becoming, from what you last recall, he's definitely been becoming a little more on the senile edge at this point in time in his career. He's well into his retirement age at this point. So seeing him in this state is probably not all that pleasing. But it also solidifies the fact that there's probably not a promising replacement at this time amongst the guild.
It's just the fact that he raised the fucking price is.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that probably.
He's pissed about that.
Yeah, it's inflation, baby.
Oh man, we got inflation, we got shrinkflation.
But that being said, with your arrival to Navarro, there is a noticeable growth to the city. It's a lot bigger than what you last recall because it's been a few years. There's not a heavy concentration of the Mandalorian presence that the audience would be aware of from the Mandalorian series, but there is a growing population of bounty hunters starting to focalize here on Navarro. That being said, there is, if you look hard enough, probably a Mandalorian walking amongst your crew, but it's not something that's widely known on the planet. But that's not.
Roll for it.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check. This is going to be a daunting difficulty because they are considered extremely rare at this time in the timeline.
As we sort of come out into the main area for the
Mhm.
guild, Bess kind of speaks up. All hunters, if you would be in need of some medical services, cheap and reliable medical services can be found on pad B4.
Snow.
Ichutamato. Ita.
Tinda! Squatra. You get a sense that, well, from your experience, one of the individuals is actually probably a regular customer of yours. Let's roll up an NPC here. Give me 1 second. Let's roll up an NPC. Let's see what we get. Who's Dr. Bess's regular customer here on Navarro? Where's my
They
effect?
call him S-Foil Sam.
A Chimerian. A Chimerian. What are we looking at? What does this guy look like? Oh! A sentient humanoid creature. Chimerians are a willowy humanoid sentient species that had pasty white skin and red eyes, which were located in a bulbous head with a small mouth that was located at the top of a craning neck. They have 2 brains, one located in their head, the other inside their chest cavity. Possessing no spines, Chimerians are notable for their towering stature, with an average member of the species standing over 3 feet taller than most humanoids. Chimerians had 2 sets of arms, 2 sets of thin arms with hands that terminated in several slender digits, and a pair of legs that ended in large toed feet. The second pair of arms was often hidden and was supported by the brain located in the chest cavity. Lacking noses, Chimerians instead smelled using olfactory glands in their hands. They smell with their hands, guys. That's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wouldn't like that.
So yeah, you see this gray-skinned humanoid with 4 arms. Granted, you don't see the 4 arms. You see only 2. The other 2 are retracted inside his cloak. He's wearing a visor over his head to conceal his identity, but he's you know this guy by the name of Zixus. Zixos. Zexus. He was a fledgling when he first joined, when you were regularly operating within the guild. A fledgling bounty hunter, who, because of his light stature, isn't very successful in his field because of he's not great at physical apprehension, but he's great at elimination. So anytime he has a bounty that allows him to kill his target, he's good at that. But anytime he has to take on a contract that requires him to bring in the target alive, he's always struggled with it. So he's always ended up at the end of those contracts heavily injured, and you've had to treat him for it.
What was he swearing at me for?
He was saying, "You son of a bitch! I can't believe you're back."
Good to see you, Xerxes.
Xerxes, because it's been a long time since he last seen you, he walks up to you, and out of his cloak, he extends one of his thin arms out to you, a handful of credits, as he palms it into your hand. and says, "That's for the last treatment that you provided to me, that I've owed you." And you count, or you feel about 5,000 credits in your palm.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for saving my primary functioning glands.
How have you been doing?
Better. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have the voice modulator on. 1 second. I'm doing better. Thank you for asking. Getting stronger. Thanks to your preservation of my life. It's been good. Thank you for all that you've done.
You're very, very welcome. I had an idea about a cybernetic implant that might make it easier for you to disable without killing.
And what would that be?
I'll just add a bit of paralytic agent to your touch.
Ooh. Now, that would make live apprehension a lot easier for me. As you know, I've had a hard time with those. Despite the fact that I have, and as he's going about this, all 4 arms extend. And he says, despite the fact that I have all 4 limbs to work with.
He sort of takes a look. He goes, "How are your olfactory senses?"
I know your 3rd limb was badly damaged the last time.
My sense of smell has been affected. I can't smell as well as I used to, but it still works.
Stop on by today. We'll take a look. Maybe there's something I can do for that as well.
I'll do that, Doctor. Thank you.
Of course.
Xerxes makes his way out of the common area to his chambers within the common area of the guild hall. And you guys make your exit of the guild hall, I presume?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll progress from day... What was my notes? You guys left Narshda day 50. It was a 5-day travel. So you guys were on Navarro at day 55. And you have 4 days to wait till Dove arrives. So day 59. Holy shit.
Is there anything you guys would like to do in those 4 days prior to Dove arriving?
Please tell me you did that intentionally, because that's beautiful.
You have a voice mod on.
Ah, shit!
Can keep it on.
That was beautifully timed.
Bess is going to do exactly as he said. He's going to stay on the ship and perform medical services for the hunters and anyone else in Navarro that would like to come and get medical
What was your rate originally?
50,000 credits.
You know what?
Patient.
I'm actually gonna leave that to you per customer because they can pay whatever they have.
Right. There's going to be a different price for guild members and a different price for civilians.
Mm-hmm.
Guild members mainly due to the fact that they have a wider assortment of income available to them.
Also, a wider assortment of injuries.
Exactly. So
we'll go maybe 1,000.
1,000 for civilians.
1,000 per person for guild members, and then 500 for civilians.
Oh, you're really.
I said we were going affordable with this.
Yeah, you're really altruistic with your prices. Okay. I'm over here trying to calculate what American doctor prices are.
We've got 4 days, and I'm basically
don't do
turning
that.
this place into Canada.
Do not try to put American healthcare prices into our fantasy game.
However,
See,
house
this could be
calls will be 5,000.
Okay, so for Guildhall rates,
If you were
Guild.
trying to do American rates, then Chad going to pick them up would be 5,000.
Bro, it's a
I
joke.
know.
It's $40 to see my GP. That's it.
That's insane. $5,000 just to ride in an ambulance. You're out of your mind.
Free.
That's no. I got picked up in an ambulance. It was $5,000.
Free.
I thought about going to urgent care today for my arm, and then I rethought about it because I don't have any insurance.
All of a sudden, it's not that bad, is it?
I was like, you know what?
Days.
It's not that bad. I'll chop it off before I go to the fucking doctor.
All right,
All right.
on with the glorified.
All right, back on scene. So you're charging, despite the fact that the guild rate, the guild due rates have increased by 3%. You maintain your standard rate of 1,000 credits for treatment for guild members, and the 500 for non-guild.
Depending upon the severity of injury that they come in with. If I'm having to use a lot more materials,
Yeah, it's 1,000 being the base rate, depending on the amount of materials utilized to treat the injuries.
based upon that, based upon how many patients I could have within 4 days,
Let's roll a polyhedral die here. I'm gonna roll a d10 and d4. A d10 and d4 that should calculate the amount of days or the amount of patients that you treated in those 4 days.
Okay.
So over the course of 3 days, you treated 7 patients. The fourth
3
day,
plus 7 is 10.
the D4 was the amount of days. The D10 was the amount of patients. So 3 patients over the course of 3 days, you treated 7 patients. So that's you to include costs of we're going to say that these 7 patients were guild members just to make my job easier. So 7,000 plus the cost of materials to treat them. We're looking at about 9,500 for, let's make it a 1,200 in total.
Okay.
1,200 for treating the patients overall. It's at this time Dove and Ego arrive within the atmosphere of Navarro. Dove, you get the hailing from 1,200 or 12,000. Sorry, no, 1,200. 1,200.
It's so confusing.
Is it
1,000 a person?
1,200 or is it 12,000? I'm really confused.
I'm doing terrible math right now. 7,000 plus. So 10,000. 10,000 credits. Sorry. There we go. 3,000 credits for materials. Oh my god, I'm doing terrible math right now. Fuck. I'm over here trying to get a fucking degree in accounting.
You're doing great. Can you?
10,000 sounds great, man. We'll call it there.
If you're gonna go from 9,500 to 1,200, I'm gonna be very happy with what you do for my taxes.
10,000 credits in total for cost and treatment. There we go. 10,000. Flat 10,000. Just make my job easier. Fuck, I need to write this down. 10,000 credits is what Bess got paid for treating patients for the guild. All right.
What are the rest of you doing?
Dove, you arrive in the atmosphere of Navarro at this time. With Ego in tow, no, you're riding on Ego's ship with your ship in tow with Uno.
I was on my ship that Una was piloting, so I could be in my workshop having a jinx moment with my visor.
There you go. So you can work on your. That being said, let's get a mechanics check from you to modify this visor. This is going to be an average difficulty as you are well experienced in your field.
3 successes, 5 advantages.
Yet. Let's go ahead and make things spicy. I'm going to cash in a dark side token just to upgrade one of these ability dice. Just to make things a little difficult for you. Ooh, okay. You still succeed with a despair.
I had a triumph before. What would that do? I had 2 triumphs before, actually. What would one of those do?
You know what? I'm going to save that despair. You succeed.
E.
You succeed. You manage to... You isolate the mainframe for the visor, or the heads-up display, and the RAM for the memory storage, and you relocate it towards the motherboard, the left cheek, and the RAM to the right cheek. It's a little uncomfortable at first, but you tweak it and modify it to make it more conformative to your facial structure. Eventually, it fits perfectly, and then you cover over it with insulation and sealing material to be able to utilize it as a breathing apparatus in hazardous conditions. So it is still capable of acting as a filtration system or a oxygen source, depending on the environment that you're in. The only stipulation is you have to connect the oxygen system to the visor itself. It remains it's magnetically connected and sealed, so you can detach it easily and connect it easily, depending on the environment. But yeah, no problem. You cut the unnecessary components off, reduce it down to only a facial visor with the same sealing properties that are reminiscent of Killbolt's exact same visor that he dons himself, and you have yourself a complete powered armor set.
Excellent.
And then at the tail, we're getting there. It's at the tail end of this project that you get the alarms from your ship, as well as Uno over the comm systems, alerting you. Let's get Uno back. Sorry, that was my phone.
Not me.
Yeah, no. This
Master,
boy.
we are arriving at the atmosphere of Navarro at this time. Please alert me if you would like any meat bags eliminated upon entry, or should I just touch down?
Just touchdown. I don't think there's anyone that needs exterminating at this time.
Very
Thank
well,
you,
Master.
no.
Is that the by this point in time you touch down with your Jumpmaster starship onto the surface of Navarro, where you were pointed to by Chav and Rawl.
Just for our information, is Navarro one of the planets in which I should be not as open with my armor? Or because it's mostly bounty hunters, I don't really care.
You can traverse the planet openly, as it is a bounty hunters guild controlled planet.
Right. I will do that. That being said, Dove does add one component to her outfit, and it looks old, and it looks like it wasn't hers originally, but a dark leather hide sort of trench coat that has fastenings where the arms can be removed, and that's just to throw over her armor. But still allow for that.
You still rocking the same paint job that you got the armor in, or have you made alterations to the paint job?
Not yet. I
Okay,
was mostly
so-
focused on, you know,
Makes
aesthetics
sense.
can-
So yeah, it's at this time as you guys are operating on or maintaining a low profile on Navarro. You get a hailing from a heavily armored female Zabrakian, letting you know that she has arrived on Navarro. Granted, she only sends a message, so you don't see a picture of her yet. But you're in for awakening when she shows up.
I'm here. What have you done? At Chav.
Kind of checking that, like, kind of looks and goes, "What have I done?" He's like, "What the hell do you mean? What have I done? I've just been here." Meanwhile, at the same time, shooting a message to Slade, go, "Is it ready yet?" Daily message, same time.
A minute past the hour.
Slade's gonna fucking hate you.
Hey, we're moving spice for him, so that's okay. Does he want it moved or not?
Yeah. So yeah. Do you tell Dove where you guys are located at this point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Pad B4.
Bess. Oh, you guys are still operating off of your landing pad?
Mhm.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
there's a place that costs less per day.
I mean,
Can we park in somebody's driveway? Like,
no, not with your fucking freighter. No, unless you wanted to live in a more comfortable environment aside from your crew quarters on the ship. No. So you guys are still living out of your RV at this point on Navarro, directing Dove to B4. Dove, you arrive to this landing pad, a VCX Series 100 Corellian freighter. Something that you're not familiar with, as you are well aware of what Chav normally pilots, which is a Wayfarer class freighter. So this is a bit of a shocker for you. You board the ship slower than what he's used to piloting.
slower, worse handling, which is considerable.
But it comes with a
smaller as well.
starfighter slot or a starfighter slot attachment. A starfighter attachment slot. Whatever.
But there is no starfighter.
There is no starfighter. So you just see a very vacant open spot at the top of the hull where you can reasonably assume that there's something that's supposed to go there, but it's noticeably absent. You board the gangplank and enter the VCX 100, and there on the interior you see Rawl, Chav, and a person you have yet to interact with, Dr. Besrutam, along with a droid, several droids aboard the ship, one of which is actively maneuvering about the ship, R5. And then the other droid is a Assassin Series droid that has a very basic function of just maneuvering. No, similar to what you were dealing with Uno.
Uno's evolved since then. To which, when Dove sees them, she's just going to pat the doorway of the ship and just say, "What's this? Budget cuts now?" I'm surprised.
Is Oz here? Because Chav would deflect directly to Oz. Or to Rawl, rather.
I don't think so.
That's, yeah. We had complications. We had to relocate ourselves to the, because of shit that happened on Bespin.
Yeah. Don't worry. She's still in one piece. Just that one piece is somewhere that I ain't exactly happy about.
Speaking
Advise.
of changes, why the fuck you working with the Huts?
Hey,
What do you mean changes? I've always been working with the Huts. They're one
Yeah,
of my
same.
main clients.
We weren't working with the Huts when we were on Bespin.
No, I worked with the Huts before Bespin.
I don't like it. Well,
Hello, my name is Dr. Besrutam. It's a pleasure to meet you. May I say your symmetricality of your features is striking.
okay. Love it.
Speaking from a purely physicianal place.
I think you can come from a different place as well. Like that's fair.
I don't have that place. Anyway, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I don't have that place.
Dub, this is Dr. Besutam. He's been working with us as a physician for a short while now. We had another guy, but we lost him on Nashida.
Ah. It's like the planet always demands a sacrifice or whatever it is. Why'd you pick up this guy? He's got manners. Nice to meet you. Zava Dobria. Dalv is fine. And when she says her name, it's recognizable up there with like the aura things and the cat bangs. It's something that you would know.
It's a very prominent, a regal name, for sure. It's got an air of
You're a bounty hunter or a mercenary?
bounty
I'm
hunter.
a bounty.
Are you one of like with the guild?
She is not guild. She is strictly
guild.
independent.
Independent. When she mentions her name, you have actually give me a lore. This is going to be a underworld check for the guild.
I gotta tell you, I'm pretty good at these.
Let me take a look at Dove's history.
3 successes.
That's a good check. Okay, let's go with this is gonna be stealth. So this is a hard difficulty. Shit, yeah. Okay. You succeed the check. Dove has some guild ties. Granted, she's been given more affordability due to her royal nature. She has royal ties.
I do?
Surprise! Surprise!
I do?
Zavadavari, did you do the thing with the bounty on Bespin about 2 years ago?
Oh, you heard about that. Didn't think it would get out this far.
Of course I heard about it. You took out how many? 30?
32.
Yeah. Dove is lethal. The most recent activity that you heard from Dove was a mining colony. Most recently, only months before, where she and a company with her eradicated a dissident group of droids that were trying to start a droid revolution. Which kind of correlates to some of the descriptions, now that you're thinking about it, to the rest of your crew that's with you. A gold-skinned Nothuan and 2 dark-skinned Thursians / Echani individuals with white hair.
I'm beginning to piece things together bit. You guys have worked together before.
Yeah, she helped us save some miners back on our mining colony way back when.
Droids, right?
Droids.
New
Not what you'd
droid-
expect.
New Droid Revolution is what they call themselves.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part. I was too busy blowing them up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well,
Thank you.
What did you
Certainly
say
have
to?
the
Played by a different
credentials.
person right now.
What did you say to them when you shot them? Shot the head guy up.
Smile for the camera.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, that was fun. Oh, we can do more of that.
I'm not opposed to more of that. And maybe this time when Raul gets his ass lit up by half a dozen droids.
Hey, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we do. Dr. Bess, you can patch him back up.
I certainly can. I could also patch up the droids.
Well, hot shit.
I'm a multi-purpose patcher.
All right, now that we got all the introductions out of the way, Dove, welcome back. Good to have you. Your boyfriend on the way or what?
First of all, don't insult me. Second of all, he took a small detour, but Ego will be joining us shortly.
That's so.
Third of all,
Don't
David to
insult
you.
me.
He can.
David to you. Don't worry about your face being where it shouldn't be seen. You're welcome.
It's at this point he kind of reclines into himself and realizing what you're talking about. Like, thank you. It's like, oh shit, you did that for me. Oh, you. Please don't mention it. Please don't say anything about it. With the crew reuniting themselves and catching up, this is a perfect time for the crew's adventure to be diced at this time. Thank you all for tuning in to the reunification of Core Atlas and some of its new members catching up. Tune in tomorrow for Valley of Endless War for Simite's continuation of the new campaign that we've rolled out. And then be on the lookout for Dimensional Dial coming up at the end of the month. Other than that, we have Star Wars Edge of the Empire coming up next week. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. We'll see you next time, 2B Dicers. Take care of yourselves.
Bye.